Joke's on you, Derek. I read it right now. So there you go. Is it time? Is it time? Yeah, I think it's time. Welcome. Welcome to Order 42. I'm Rob. This is the show. It's good to see all you guys in here. Am I shiny? Oh boy, am I shiny today. Like, that's just the way it is. So, take that. Take that. So yeah, how are you guys doing? You guys doing okay? Excuse me, I had to clear my throat. So sorry about that. Wow, that was loud. Sorry. I hope I didn't I hope I didn't blow your ears out. Reading The Shining, and it's great. What Stephen King books do you recommend? Derek, give me a couple of minutes to get caught up. I will address that because I have many. I have many that you could read. But look, hey, Ricky was first. Ricky was first, and look, we got a liquid poll going. So vote in the poll. If you want your voice heard, now's the time. I mean, look, people are calling, people names on both sides. Here, we're going to let the vote decide. The vote will decide between banana custard and toffee custard. It's up to you. It really is. It's up to you. It's going on this freshly wicked. Look at that. Just look at that. It's ready to go. It's beautifully done. All we got to do is put a liquid on it. So there you go. But anyway, yeah, vote in the poll. Hashtag no politics. Anyway, and Vinny popped in to say, this isn't Minecraft. Well, Vinny, no, it's not. But there you go. Ninjinzu and Griffian and Cosma and Robert. Look, it's good to see you guys. And Carbonite. And of course, Derek. Look, I read it. I read it. Hey, I read it pretty quick. You got to give me credit. I mean, I do get, look, I mean, I know. You know, I know. I go off on tangents and then it's 30 minutes before I read something. But not this time. Not at the beginning. Not at the beginning. But yeah, let's see. Nuck, please, Robert says. Oh, the nuck will happen. The nuck will absolutely happen. But look, I mean, I got things to show you that I've watched this week. I got some new a new toy, a new thing, kind of yeah. Anybody know what that is? Look at that. What about that? Hey, you know what that is? We'll get into that. We'll get into that in a second. It's not that big of a deal. It really isn't. But I mean, it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool, but you know. Cosma picked the custard. Well, I'm glad you did. I'm glad you did because that's really all you got. Banana and toffee. Look, here's the thing. I had the caramel custard that you guys picked a while back, and it was good, but it was also kind of boring. But caramel custard with a cherry Pepsi. I'll show you. So it's like this. This is what you do, right? So here, this is a different vape. This is my acai. This is probably not going to be good, but I want to give you, the thing. If you, it's one thing to have a good tasting liquid, but it's another to pair it with a tasty beverage. This is tea. It's probably not going to work, but we'll see. Acai and tea. Let's see how it goes together. So what you do is you take a pull and then you breathe out as you're bringing in the tea. So you get the mixture of the flavors, right? So it's like this. Watch. Just watch. Oh, and you get that thing too. Where it? That's not good. That's not a good pairing. This acai that I made is beautiful, but it doesn't work well with tea. It just doesn't. But for some reason, the caramel custard and cherry Pepsi, holy crap. Holy crap. Holy crap. Holy crap, guys. It was good. It was really good. So I'm kind of curious to see if one of these might, you know, a thing. Flanana mustard. Okay. Banana terracotta, banana terracotta pie. Okay. What up, players? Ninjinzu, welcome. Let's see, we jammin'. Let's see, yeah, that's beautiful. Oh, except for the biker riding by. Well, you know, I was filming and then he rode by and I was like, okay. Yeah, here's the thing. That was Grapevine Lake, I think. Lake Grapevine? Whatever it is. That's where we were hiking. And it was cool. In fact, it was one of the better hiking trails that we found in the area. The problem is, yeah, a lot of bikers. One almost ran my wife over. So that's a thing. But you know, it's fun. And yeah, you might be saying, well, Rob, that was only like a minute worth of footage. It was 45 seconds, actually. It was 45 seconds, and I stretched it out a little bit because, hey, why not? But the thing is I got to learn how to use this thing, you know? But once we do, hey, you know, it'll be good. It'll be good. So yeah. Let's see. Oh, I'm already already getting all funky in the chat over there. Like it was and it jumped up and then I'm like, where am I? Okay, Shining. Shining is great. I would recommend after you read The Shining, read Doctor Sleep, which is the sequel that takes place years later. And I really enjoyed that. I would also say The Stand is probably, one of his classics. Of course, if you're into short stories, there's so many different short story collections, which I've read all of them. I haven't read If It Bleeds yet. And The Life of Chuck with the movie coming out. Mike Flanagan's directing, and I think, is that right? The Life of Chuck movie. The Life of Chuck. The Life of Chuck. It's got what's his face? Um Tom Hiddleston. It is Mike Flanagan and written by Mike Flanagan. That is coming soon. That is from If It Bleeds. I have not read that story yet. But again, bunch of short stories. And then of course, I would man, I gotta say, it's hard to go wrong. It really is. I mean, I've read a lot. I haven't read Carrie, I haven't read Christine, I haven't read some of the like early ones, but Salem's Lot, um Pet Cemetery, It, and then of course when you get into the Dark Tower stuff, I love the Dark Tower, but it was also because I've been reading Stephen King for years and years and years. So it was very rewarding experience because some things tie in with stories that you may not think tie in, but they do, and it's kind of neat and it's very cool. So, just saying. Stephen King, look, if you enjoy Stephen King's writing, it's not for everybody. Sometimes it takes a while to get there, but I love Stephen King. I mean, I've read a bunch of the new stuff, a bunch of the old stuff, stuff in between, short stories. I've read them all. Not all, but I mean, I've read a lot, and I do enjoy it. So, and if you're interested in writing, I think his book on writing, it gave me what I needed to know to think, yes, I can do this, and I appreciate that. Toffee all the way, Griffian. I mean, look, I want to try the toffee too. But then again, I wouldn't have bought either one of these if I didn't want to try them. So for me, it's kind of like, hey, whatever. So yeah, the Penguin is slapping. Oh my God, it is. You've been watching the Penguin? Because holy crap, that show's good. I think it might be, I think it is. I think it's the best show on TV right now. It's that good. It's really that good. Um, so yeah, check it out. Now, I mean, I think you kind of have to appreciate the Batman, the movie The Batman, um, and the sort of real life. It's not. There's not a lot of. In fact, there's zero almost supernatural stuff because Batman. Batman's got the Joker and he's got the Riddler and he's got the Penguin. But then you get Man Bat and Killer Croc and all those other ones, right? All those other a little more supernatural stuff, a little bit supernatural and crazy. And I mean, even Ra's al Ghul with the water of life that brings it back to life. I mean, all that stuff like I like the more grounded stuff, and the Penguin is definitely more grounded. So, but it's really good. I mean, holy crap, Colin Farrell is. But I've been saying that for years. Colin Farrell has been, to me, one of the best actors we have today. I've felt that way for years. And then you watch him do comedies, and he's great at comedy. He's got it all. He can do it all, and that's awesome. So there you go. Penguin is badass. Watch it. Writing is real cool. I mean, it is. Writing is one of the best. It is one of the best things because it's pure creation. And if you can really get into it, man, is it rewarding. It is. The best part is like, this is how okay, I've only written one script, but I'm developing some other stories, right? The coolest thing is you've got an outline. And you're basically saying, okay, well, I need to get to this point. Then I need to get from this point to this point, right? And sometimes in between outline points that you've already come up with, you suddenly get this idea and it takes you in another direction. And that is that inspiration is, it's very good stuff. It's very good stuff. And then, of course, if you can get to the point where you can actually get on set and start making the movie, then you get a whole nother set of ideas, and it's, oh man, it's great. It's great. It's so awesome. It's so good. So, you should try it. If you like writing, you should try it. And a good day indeed to you, the loyal and splendid denizens of the Chat 42. I almost said, as my, on Twitter, I almost said it's 40 Tuesday. It's kind of cheesy. I almost did it though, because I'm a cheesy guy. But there you go. But Bucho, welcome. Good to see you. Let's see. Okay, it just updated again, and then let's see. Here, but lurking, watching a movie. Will show Zama. That's fine. But I will tell you that I did watch a movie that you recommended not too long ago, and I want to talk about it. It's not with these because I didn't buy it, but I watched it, and I want to talk about it. You whoop his ass? Who? Just kidding. Who, though? Bubs! Welcome, Bubs. I'm sorry that I'm behind, but welcome. Good to see you, sir. Good to see you. And make sure you vote. Banana or toffee? Just saying. You should vote. Dawn of Deliciousness. Wraith! Welcome, Wraith. Hey, look, I got this. Yeah, we're going to talk about that in a minute. Thanks for the book recommendations, Derek. You're welcome. You're welcome. Here's the thing that you have to understand about King. Sometimes the way that he writes, he doesn't write with an outline. He just lets the characters drive the story. Sometimes they can get you into trouble, because you get to the end and you're like, okay, I guess that's the end. And sometimes it doesn't quite get you. But the thing is, the way that he writes, you just want to keep turning the page and you're like, oh, what happens next? Oh my God. I mean, The Stand is one of those where it ends kind of strangely, but it's still, I like it. Under the Dome is another one. Big fat book. I boxed it up. I boxed it up because I was like, I only have so much room in here. And I boxed it up because it takes up a lot of room. It's a thick freaking book. I flew through that thing. Flew through it. And then the ending was like, oh man. But it's one of those stories that taught me that sometimes it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. And the journey that he took me on was pretty good. And that's how I feel about Lost. A lot of people don't like that last season, me included. But I gotta say, that was some captivating television when it was on. It was awesome. So sometimes it's not all about the destination. Now, I mean, if the way that I used to describe it is, you got a cool, crisp glass of water in a clear glass, and it's just gorgeous. It's beautiful. It's clear. It's awesome. And somebody drops a bit of poo in it. And it floats down to the bottom. Now, look, a lot of that might be good. A lot of that might be fine. Didn't touch the poo at all. But do you really want to take that chance? And that's how I used to look at movies. So if the ending sucked, I'd completely just trash the movie. I just completely hate the movie. I don't feel that way anymore. Now, I mean, I'm not saying I want to drink, water with a little bit of poo in it. I'm just trying to say it's not really the way it is with storytelling. Sometimes you get to the end and it just doesn't quite work out. Or it's something where if it goes against what you think the movie should do, then people get pissed off. And I'm like, hey, you can't judge it against what it can never be. This isn't your story. This is someone else's story. So all you can do is judge the storytelling. Can you judge the storytelling that way? Not everybody can. I can. It's my favorite thing. It's my favorite thing to be taken on a journey, even if it ends in a kind of, because then I can go, but all that other stuff was really cool. Got to give it credit sometimes. But anyway, there you go. I'm probably talking too much about Stephen King, so sorry, but it's good stuff. Couldn't get into the Dark Tower. Oh, Robert. Oh man, I'll tell you, that is it starts in a way, the Gunslinger, right? The first book, my wife couldn't even get through it. The first book. And she's read a lot of, I mean, I wouldn't say a lot of Stephen King, but she's read enough that if she kept on, she'd probably get something out of it. She couldn't even get through the first book. Me, I loved the first book. I loved it. And it's mostly character and mostly setup. And then you get to drawing of the three, and then stuff starts getting crazy. And then there's a book right in the middle. I can't remember which one it is, but one book in the middle just tells a completely different story. It's basically, here's where your heroes are, but this hero, one of these heroes is telling another one of the people a story, and that's the whole book, is that story. And it was great. At first I was like, oh man, I wish it was driving the story forward. I didn't care. I loved it so much. So it's almost like you kind of have to sit back and just let it flow. But I get it. I get it. It's not for everybody. I get it. I love it. Someone told me to read The Exorcist. I've never read it. Of course, the movie is a classic, but I've never read it. Doesn't Dark Tower connect everything together? Yes. Kind of. But it just shows that there are many connections that weren't apparent when you see. What I did is I looked up a thing. It was a website or whatever, and it was an article saying, what books of Stephen King should I read before The Dark Tower? And I went down the list of books that maybe have connections, and I started reading the ones that I hadn't read before. There was a lot of them that I'd already read. And I enjoyed that journey. And just reading these, again, just standalone stories, but somehow they might have a connection. I just found it really, really rewarding, and it was awesome. I haven't looked into Penguin. Is it a Batman thing? Yes, Griffian. It's based off of the character in Robert Pattinson, the Batman from a few years ago. Take that character and continue his story after the movie ends. And it's fantastic television. Great acting. I mean, the plot is great. I'm enjoying it. So I'm learning how to write, so that will help. I need help with the fiction area of writing. Well, Derek, absolutely. And what I like about it is he uses different ideas to say, here's the spark of an idea. Now, where would you go with it? And I kind of like that. And there's actually some really good ideas that, of course, you can't use because he put them in his book. But at the same time, it's like, wow, what a cool spark of an idea. So, Tommyknockers was good. See? Yeah. It's weirdly, it's its own story. Dark Tower is definitely its own story, but there are it's almost like, in almost like music terms. Have you ever listened to a lot of, okay, you it doesn't matter if you have or not. The Police, right? With Sting, Stuart Copeland, Andy Summers, right? 3-piece band from the late 70s into the mid 80s, right? They broke up. Sting continued on as a solo artist. And what's funny is he uses some of the same lines from other songs. In sometime, every now and then they'll come up, and it's just like a little like, oh, hey, it's kind of neat. That's kind of how it is. It's like there's like weird rhymes, and it's kind of hard to explain, but it's cool. And there's whole characters that show up in the Dark Tower from other books, which is really cool. Like super rewarding, for me. But there's actually ideas that will do that, where it's almost like a harmony that you're like, I remember that, but what is that from? And I will also say, if you do want to get on the internet and look at anything about the Dark Tower, be careful, because I had one thing spoiled very early on that turned out to not be that big of a deal, but it bummed me out because I was like, I didn't want to know that. And even if you do, even if you happen to come across something that spoils something, the cool thing is that you may know what happens, but you don't know how. And the how is just as interesting, which is, again, the greatest thing about storytelling is that sometimes you can be spoiled on a thing. This thing happens, but you don't know how. I had Half-Blood Prince spoiled for me, J.K. Rowling, because it was on Twitter or whatever. It was like, haha, this was really funny. And it was a guy driving by the line at Barnes and Noble, at midnight with people outside. He drives by and says the biggest spoiler that you could say about that book. And it pissed me off because it was like, damn it, I got spoiled too. But looking back, it's kind of funny because it didn't really matter. Because even knowing that, it still didn't take away the magic of what happens and how, you know what I mean? Anyway. A Scarecrow show would be sweet. Oh, dude. Dude. Get Killian in there? That'd be cool. Just finished Gotham again today. Last season went cartoon mode. Yeah, I never watched it. I tried it and it just didn't connect with me. Colin Farrell is doing a great job. Yeah, he is. My girlfriend likes my impression of Penguin when yelling at Vic in the bathroom. Okay, I would like to hear that. Is it another Batman show that doesn't have Batman in it? Yeah, but it's not, it doesn't feel like Gotham does. It feels just as important as the movie does. But I mean, we'll see. Kristen Milotti steals the show. She's pretty damn good. Did you whoop the ass of the one who almost ran over your wife? I sent like that. Oh, you didn't send it 45 minutes ago. We're only 23 minutes into the show. You voted. Thank you, Bubs. Appreciate that. No, I didn't film the collision or the almost collision. But no, it was honestly, she zigged when she should have zagged, and he zigged when he should have zagged, and it was just one of those things where it was a kind of a mistake on both their parts. But I mean, I jumped out of the road. You know what I mean? I jumped off of the trail to get out of the way, and that's what I did every time. She started following my lead on that. So, only seen the first 2 episodes of Penguin, enjoying Farrell and Milotti, but the rest of the mobsters are less intimidating than a sack of wet cardboard. Bucho, don't worry about it. Just watch it and enjoy. Writing without an outline. Apparently, George R.R. Martin has written himself into a corner in writing his next Fire and Ice book, which is why he's so far behind, or so I hear. See, that's really interesting because I wonder if he, I mean, he obviously knows where he's going. I mean, I've gotten there. I've done that because it's like, especially like, here's the thing. I don't know if I can say this. I'll just say that in writing the screenplay, I got into a similar thing because I knew where I wanted to end up. And it kept meandering, and I was like, I don't know how to connect the two. And then Billy, in his, well, it was a wise thing he said. He said, don't worry about trying to connect to anything. Tell the story. Let the story be your guide. And as long as at the end the story makes sense and the story works, who cares? And I was like, okay. So that's what I did. And it works. Cobb having a cute street kid as his lone underling instead of a hardened henchman or 5 gives the whole show more of a CW feel than an HBO one. Oh, you need to watch episode 3, Bucho. You need to watch episode 3. It's good. And Pixel Phoenix, hello. Welcome. And thank you for the kind words on Discord. That was very nice. Very nice. Very nice to hear. You know, I mean, it's why you create things. It's why you do things. So you want people to enjoy them. And even if you don't watch every video and, like, comment, subscribe, all that crap, share, whatever. I don't need all that. I just want people to enjoy what I do. So there you go. I appreciate it. Yeah, you need to watch episode 3, Bucho. And then you need to watch episode 4, and then we'll hear what you say. Wizard and Glass is the book in the Dark Tower series that tells the story about the other story you're talking about. Ah, see, I couldn't remember because it doesn't, even though it's not technically in the seven, there's wind through the key or wind through the keyhole. Is that beneath the key? Wind through the keyhole, right? Whichever the 0.5 is, it kind of fits in there. It's like 4.5, I think. That one tells a story that's completely separate too. And I read it in order and I really enjoyed it. But I like that. I don't mind if I trust the writer, I'm like, just take me on a journey. I don't care where it is. And there were, man, I got to tell you, there were times in that reading those books that I wanted to just skip ahead because I wanted to, dude, I hope this person is okay. And I want this person to be okay. And I pulled it back and I said, no. Wheel of Time did that to me too. But that was less of a, it wasn't impatient because the writing was slow in Dark Tower. I was impatient because I didn't want a bad thing to happen. But with Wheel of Time, there were times where I was just being impatient because the writing was slow, if that makes sense. I don't feel that Wheel of Time, scratches the Dark Tower. I think like if I look at all the big series that I've read, I kind of feel like Harry Potter's probably at the top. It's probably one of the most rewarding reading experiences of my life. Just below that, the Dark Tower, and then somewhere down here is Wheel of Time. It's good. I enjoyed it, and I read all the books, but it doesn't touch those, in my opinion. But yeah. I finally watched Thor 4 and Guardians 3 and dug both of them. Yeah, I still haven't... Oh, wait, no. I did watch Love and Thunder. Yeah, I liked it. It was fine. I mean, I can understand why people didn't like it, but it was fine. Guardians 3 is good, though. I liked it. That's also why you can rewatch good movies, shows, and still love them. Knowing what's going to happen, being spoiled doesn't hurt good stories. Absolutely true. The rewatchability of some movies, it's kind of interesting. Because it's like, if it's just a series... Excuse me. Who said it was Trey Parker, right? I think it was Trey Parker. Matt Stone, Trey Parker, right? South Park. Trey Parker was talking about storytelling. And it's like, you don't want to be like, this happens, then this happens, then this happens, then this happens, right? Some movies are really fun to watch that first time, but they're kind of like that, where it's like, it's a series of cool moments instead of a story being told, It's like, how many times have I put on, or back in the cable days when I'd be switching around and I'd turn on a movie that I've seen 100 times and yet I still get sucked in because the storytelling is so good. But yeah. In writing books that are multiple books long, I hear he has written a problem in a previous book that has created a problem in a current book he's writing now. You talking about King? Who? I don't know who you're talking about. Because as far as I know, King's done with the big long stories. Every single one of my streams has been monetized since I stopped vaping or started turning off my camera to do it. So wild. Thank you for pointing that out. Really? Is that it? I wonder if that's why because a couple of streams ago I got demonetized. I don't know why. But hey, I'm happy to have... I mean, I'm just trying to figure it out myself, And it's just like the rule about, like, people say, oh, you can't play movie clips in your whatever. And I said, well, I figured out that if it's longer than 6 seconds, and like if you took a trailer, right, and you want to talk about that trailer, it doesn't always happen, but I've learned that some trailers, some studios, if the clip is over 6 seconds long from, like, ripped exactly from it, it'll flag it and it'll claim it. But if it's less than 6 seconds, you're good. So when I'm doing my my shorts, and when I do movie reviews and I play movie clips in it, all of them all of the clips are less than 6 seconds exactly from the trailer. Now, you could take 9 seconds and split it in half, 4.5 and 4.5, and do this, especially if the scenes aren't connected. You can do that and it won't claim it. But if it's 6 consecutive seconds or more, it'll flag it and you'll be flagged for copyright. That's what I figured out. But it's because of the style of video that I do. So, there you go. But Rufus, I'm happy that helped. Got halfway through book 4 in Wheel of Time, couldn't do it. Haven't read Wind Through the Keyhole yet. I mean, if you enjoyed The Dark Tower, you'll like it. It's a good story. But yeah. I got folks not liking the Taika goofiness turned up to 11, but if you lean into it, then Love and Thunder does the job just fine. Yeah, it's good. It's fun. It's fun. Yeah, well, in 6 consecutive seconds, I need a new camera. Okay. I got flagged using 2 long Starship Troopers clips for a Helldiver stream. Yes. Yeah. So if you can edit it in a way that there's not 6 consecutive seconds from the trailer, you should be okay. Because it becomes a new thing, and it's not. I don't know how it works. I don't know how that stuff works. I just noticed it myself, and it was like, okay, this clip, this one has nothing but clips that are less than 6 seconds, and then this one was 6.8 seconds, and it got flagged. So then I cut it down to 6.1, re-uploaded it just to see, and it flagged it. So then I deleted it and then edited it down to 5.9 seconds. And it cleared it. So I was like, okay, that must be the magic number. So that's just what I've had in my head all this time. I don't know if that's true. Hey, it works for me. So there you go. So let's get into things. Let's get into things. So it's already 7:30. We're already halfway through the stream. No, we're not halfway through. I want to bring this up next weekend. Retro Palooza at the Fort Worth Convention Center. So this is going to be fine. This is going to be just fine. I'm very excited. It is going to be very fun. And of course, if you get VIP tickets, you will get to view Pixel Dan versus 8-Bit Eric wrestling match. And then, well, I mean, actually, this will probably be first. Jay and Tim in a boxing exhibition. What? That is happening next weekend. And this, I don't know anything about this. I don't know these people, but that's happening as well. But I mean, I think most people are looking forward to these two. And that this is going to be good. And yes, I probably will be filming this. So it's going to be very fun. If you have the means to come to Retropalooza next weekend, I would highly recommend it. Highly, highly recommend it. It's illegal for all these companies to steal money from our derivative works. We need a better court case than Ethan from H3H3, although that did help fair use's future. Absolutely. And I think if it's a review, and especially if I'm talking over it, there's no reason to claim it. I just don't think there's any reason to claim it. Now, I mean, I'm sure I've seen enough videos where they put it in a very, very small window and they don't play the audio at 100% and they're talking over it and that helps, but I just don't mess around with that. And plus, I think trailer reactions are, I don't care for them. I don't care for trailer reactions, and therefore I don't do trailer reactions. Because mainly because I don't react that much. The only time that I wish I was filming me reacting to something was when I was watching RRR. Because I was yelling. I don't know why, but I was yelling and laughing and screaming and jumping up and down. It was weird. And then my wife came in and she started watching it and she was laughing and yelling and talking to the screen, and it was crazy. It's the only time. Most of the time, I'm sitting there going, hmm. I mean, do you really want to watch a trailer reaction like that? No, nobody does. So there you go. Yeah. Jay versus Tim looks like if I could say 5 things to my younger self gone wrong. I mean, maybe it's gonna be fun though. It's gonna. I mean, hopefully. I just look. My biggest concern is I don't want anybody to get hurt. But I have to say, them fighting in a ring is better than them fighting in a hotel room. So hopefully things will be good. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Fingers crossed, everybody. Let's all stay safe. You'll be there front row. Hell yeah. Are you a VIP since I'm a vendor? Ricky, I would think so. Just come. It'll be fine. Yeah. It should be fine. I would think so. Yeah. Sure. Got money on Tim? I mean, look, Tim is a little shorter than Jay, but he is, I don't know. The interesting thing about it is I know that Jay's been really working hard. He's been doing some boxing and he's been doing some. It's going to be interesting because I'll tell you, in the hotel room, there were flurries that lasted seconds, and then you know. So it's going to be interesting. The stamina is going to be interesting. You should totally upload a dead staring trailer reaction video. You think so? You think they would? I mean, and then at the end go, and this is why I don't do trailer reactions. Is this event on FanDuel? Unfortunately, Ninjinzu, there wasn't enough time. This came together pretty fast, so there wasn't enough time. At least as far as I know, it's not going to be live streamed anywhere or anything like that. Because I was trying to help find solutions and I couldn't find solutions that made sense. I mean, of course, thousands of dollars worth of options out there, but that wasn't an option. So, Slades. Hey Rob, I know you said you're done with the fan edits and fan edit reviews, but how would you feel about Batman Begins and The Dark Knight edited as if it was one television series with cliffhangers? I mean, it could be interesting, Slades, and I will never say. I will say, hey, bring it to the attention of the group, and whatever, and maybe put it in the Discord. I would be happy to take a look at it, but doing a review for it probably not going to happen. And I've said, yeah, we've talked about it ad nauseum. It's just it almost feels like a promotional thing instead of, because here's the thing. I mean, we've talked about this, but how transformative is it? That's how I look at things. And I am not there to criticize to the point where somebody, says, well, I took all this effort to be creative, and then I come along and I tell you that was not good. I don't want to do that. I don't want to stifle anybody's creativity. And then on top of that, if it's just something where it's like, hey, it was done fine, but there was nothing. It was like you took all the things and put them together, You know what I'm saying? So basically, sure, you can put it in the Discord if you like. We can, if somebody's interested and has some time to kill and they want to check it out, then do it. They can do it. And I have no problem promoting it in the Discord. I just don't want to do it as a review on the channel, just because I just don't. I don't know. It's just not my thing. There's, like I said, there have been very few that I'm like, okay, you got to see this, and those come along every now and then. But I hope that makes sense. So there you go. I'll show up then. Yeah. Jay looks like he can swing, but Tim got that spirit. Tim's got some. Tim is a strong dude. He's dense like a star, like a sun. You know what I mean? He's a dense dude. So this is going to be really, really interesting. And the thing that I keep telling, at least I haven't seen Tim in a while. But Jay, I keep telling him, I was like, look, I have a feeling that you guys really need to work on your stamina, because the problem is, because you're both brothers and you're competitive against each other, what happens is if one guy lands a shot that might have been, 100%, might have been an 80% punch, but even if it stuns you or it hurts you, you're going to get all like bent out of shape and trying to get that punch back, you know what I mean? You can't do that. That's hard to do. That's hard to do because you feel like, okay, now I'm behind. I've got to retaliate. You can't do that. And I don't know if either one of them can do that, but we'll see. But there you go. It's going to be fun, hopefully. Hopefully it's not a, oh my God, I can't believe that happened. You know what I mean? Jay versus Tim, the loser eats a bowl of 1989 Batman cereal. I'm sending that right now. This just came up in my chat. Cosma, you just had your message texted to the boys. So there you go. FanDuel is a betting app for sports events. Okay. No, I mean, who knows? And they have the Batman cereal. Oh my God, guys. So that's what I was doing last week. I mean, I was wearing the same shirt and then came home and streamed. That was, what's weird is looking back, there were hints of the original cereal in there, but it was masked by this cardboardy nothing kind of flavor mixed with this sweetness that was rancid. It was gross. It was so freaking gross. And I don't want to do it again. I'll just say that. I'm just glad it wasn't a drink, because that's the kind of stuff that I just y'all did eat ancient cereal? Yes. I don't really care for promotions. I was just wanting to get your quick thoughts. Well, right, but Slades, that takes time. That takes. Look, I'm not gonna say that I'm the busiest guy on earth, but the thing is, man, I've got a lot on my plate right now, and I'm trying to, like, because look, just like anybody that has a job, right? You have your downtime. I don't want to spend a lot of downtime. I want to spend my downtime doing the stuff that I really want to do. Like, I've been playing the Echoes of Wisdom a little bit. I don't know how far I am in the game, but I've been kind of enjoying that, or reading a book, or, just chilling out and, whatever. And of course, because my wife works a full-time job, I support her. So there's a lot of time during the week where I'm doing stuff for my wife because she's working and I'm not, I mean, I'm working, but it's not the same, right? It's not the same as having to get up at 6 a.m. and drive to freaking wherever and do the thing and then come home and rush hour traffic. It's not the same as what I do. So, but yeah, I get what you're saying though. Again, just put it out there, put it in the Discord, especially if you want people's thoughts. Man, that's the way to do it. Love me some boxing. I wonder if I still have my full stamina. Yeah, probably not, I'll tell you this. I mean, I used to be, before I got, and now again, it's a little different because I went through freaking hell and 7 surgeries and all that kind of crap and rehab and all the stuff that I had to do, for all my Crohn's stuff. But man, it's, yeah. I will say this though. We did go filming this weekend and it was hot. It was really hot. But man, it was so like rewarding to realize last time we did this, I almost passed out. I feel great. So I think the hiking is really doing some wonders for my body. You know what I mean? 6 miles on Monday is what we did. 6 miles. And I think we're going to try to do, I don't know if we're going to do 8 or 10 this weekend. It's going to be a lot. So, and that's another thing. Dude, I'm telling you, after an 10 mile hike, whatever, you just want to, you're just in recovery, you know? So that's another thing that takes up a big chunk of time. The original cereal was Captain Crunch. Yeah, it didn't taste like Captain Crunch. A lot of people said that I mean, it kind of does, but it was more mapley, if I remember correctly. Cause I ate a ton of that cereal back in the day. I mean, I was 13, 14 years old when that cereal was still a thing. I ate a ton of it. And it was more mapley instead of Captain Crunch is kind of a caramel kind of flavor. But I mean, look, it's still the warm milk was not a problem because it wasn't really that warm. You know, it wasn't out there that long. I mean, if it was sitting there baking, you know, while we were setting up and everything, no. We had all the cameras set up, went inside, got cereal, brought it out, started filming. So it really wasn't that bad. Captain Crunch would be good if it didn't slash the roof of my mouth, right? Because, dude, I'm telling you, I love Captain Crunch. But you're right. You're right. It's rough. So what I do is I eat it. I go in dry. You know what I mean? It's good. I still like Captain Crunch. In fact, man, I kind of wish I'd got some Captain Crunch when I was at the store today or yesterday. I also like peanut butter crunch. Anybody? No? Peanut butter crunch is a good dry cereal. But there you go. 6 miles, very good. Yeah, we did 8 miles a couple of weekends ago. But we've been basically doing this. So it's like we do like a big long one and then we'll come back, we'll dip down and only do like 6 miles. But it's also been super freaking hot. And Monday is the first day where it wasn't that hot. I mean, it was still like 75 by the time we were done, which is not bad. But you're talking, it was 85 when we were getting finished, you know, in other days. So it's been really nice. Now, the thing is, in the Grand Canyon next year, because we're doing the Grand Canyon 24-mile hike, in the canyon, it's going to be 90, 92. No shade. That's going to be rough, man. So that's why we're starting now, you know, because next September or October, that's when we're doing it. It's going to be something. Oh, nice. Like French toast crunch. Yeah, but it was still Captain Crunchy, but with more maple, you know? Peanut butter crunch is amazing, right? It is amazing. So first, I showed this off last week, right? The DJI. This is what I got. The thing that I kept flashing. It's not that big of a deal. I don't know why I was doing that. Like it's like some big thing. I got filters. So now this is ridiculous. 8K, come on. It's not 8K. It's so stupid. But it's basically a set of filters. And this includes, let's see. It's very tiny. Black diffusion 1/4, black diffusion 1/8. I put the quarter black diffusion. What the black diffusion does is, and this is because I've been testing some stuff. Like if you're outside in the dark, you know, or at night, right? And there's a light, it puts a mist, it puts a haze around it, and it basically is supposed to make it like more filmic or whatever. I don't really like the look of it myself, but there's a UV filter. Then there's a CPL filter, which I can't remember what that is. An LPR filter, which I don't remember what that is. I haven't tried those yet. But there's also a series. These 7 are a series of ND filters, which are basically like sunglasses for your Osmo. So the way that it works, I'll show you. It's kind of cool. Let's open this sucker up. Of course, the Osmo Pocket 3, man. We're gonna be doing some videos. In fact, I think tomorrow I might be going to test. So, right? So the whole deal, right? So little camera guy, right? So what happens is you turn it off and it'll fold up, right? And the lens is pointed toward that thing, right? So what you do is when it's off, I mean, you can do it when it's on, but it's easier when it's off. So you turn this guy around like so. Here, I'll do it right there. And these are magnetic. And it sits there on the lens. So again, this is the reason that I got these, the K&F filters, K&F Concepts filters, is because these work with the thing closed. So even when it's off, or even now, see, look how dark the screen is. You can't even see the bookshelf back there. And it's because it's basically like wearing a pair of sunglasses, which means you can use a lower shutter speed and it looks more filmic and all that stuff. What you saw at the beginning, I was using the ND16, which is what I put on there. So it goes from 8 to 16 all the way up to an ND1000. I don't know what that's for. What the hell? But anyway, what's cool about it is, like I said, when you turn it off and it folds up, the filter can stay on there. With the other ones, with other filters, you can't do that. It'll hang up because they're so large that they will hang off the side and stuff. So that's what's cool about these filters. And again, I haven't tested them all. I want to do that. So I'm going to do a video where I test all these. So if nothing else, maybe you can learn a little bit of camera stuff while I'm screwing around and not trying to figure out what the hell I'm doing. So there you go. It's kind of cool. But there you go. That's really my only big thing that I got this week. I mean, I think it must, I don't know what the thing is on YouTube, why it claims stuff or why it says, oh, this isn't suitable for monetization. I don't understand it. So let's see, how many votes we got here? 16 votes. I just don't think that anything can, I mean, I want to get into what I've been watching with a movie clip, by the way. I got a movie clip to show you, and this one's good. This one's good. No sound, but I will comment over it. But you need to see this because it's awesome. It's definitely the vaping. I mean, yeah, probably, because I don't say that word. I will read it, but I don't say it. Well, that's why I created this thing. So I could, so I could be like, oh, I'm going to take a and nobody's the wiser. I don't know if it actually works. But anyway, why don't we go ahead and do this? Let's just go ahead and end the poll. I'm going to end it. 16 votes, banana custard with 75% of the vote. And toffee custard, ever the loser. The biggest loser of all the bottles that I bought is toffee custard. So it's nut time. That's right. That's right, Cosma. It's nut time. So banana custard, 3 milligram, of course, from Bottled Violence. By the way, if you're interested, I will just say Steel Valley Vapors. Google. There you go. So okay. Uh Bottled violence. I hate it when the cap doesn't stay on. There we go. Get on there. Okay. Bottled violence. Here we go with the Nuck. I should trademark that. I can't really trademark that though. It came from Grim Green. Anyway. Smells like banana. Nuck. Banana. Custard. Bottled violence. Okay. Okay. Oh, and by the way, this is freshly wicked, like I said. This is I think a 0.18 resistance. Turn on. Yeah, 0.18, and this will be at 77.5 watts. I need to be careful not to hit the button before any liquid's on it. Otherwise, it will burn that cotton, and then it will taste like Satan's butthole. No one wants to taste Satan's butthole. Have I mentioned that vaping is for adults only? And by the way, there's another term that, especially for people back in the day that used to, vape with RDAs, the dripping atomizers, or something like this, where you have to rebuild, right? They called it kissing the dragon. And the reason that is because some... Do I have any handy? Sure. So some RDAs back in the day, you had to pop the... Okay. You had to pop the top and paint your juice on top and then put the cap back on. But sometimes, if you're in the middle of doing something, you might forget to put the cap back on. So then you go to take a vape and you're kissing the dragon. These coils in your mouth, not a good thing. And that's only happened to me one time in the 10 or so years that I've been vaping. It's happened once. Never happened again. And I'm going to tell you, it sucks. But anyway, the liquid is on here. Okay. Liquid's good. Vapor is happening. Tank goes on top. Take the top off. Screw this down. And then we fill up that tank. Fill up that tank. All right. Top on. First toot. Phil. Hello, Phil. How's it going? We're just trying the banana custard that people overwhelmingly chose tonight. Banana custard from Bottled Violence. Let's give it a shot. Yeah. Let's see. Because I don't want to get this claimed either. But I gotta say, it's it's kind of like the caramel custard in that it's custard, which is kind of a boring flavor on its own. And then caramel. It's like this one is like custard. Banana. You know what I mean? So the banana is a little on the weak side. But yeah. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. I'm going to take another little toot if that's okay with you. It's okay. It's not blowing me away. I was hoping it was off the nuck. It tasted very banana-y. Like very banana, like super banana. This tastes more like banana, you know? So there we go. You guys chose. Now, all we have to do, I don't know if I'm going to be able to vape through another bottle by the end of next week or by next week, but we will try this on stream. We will next time. Oh, sad. Yeah, I mean it's a thing though. That's it happens. And it's mostly because so many liquids that are out there on the market, and I'm talking about like from the big boys, the big companies, there's so much sweetener that it tastes pretty good, but then you have to change your coils uh like super fast because let's see. Uh Let me just see if I can. Yeah, this is what it looks like. See that? See that up there? See that in the corner, in the far corner? Yeah. It is because the sweetener, it caramelizes just like an onion does. If you're caramelizing some onions, heating up onions with some oil and you just let them sit there, they'll get darker and darker and darker. And over time, that's what happens. But these liquids do not do that. Every single one, that's one of the best things about it, is that it doesn't gunk up your coils. So you can vape the whole bottle without having to rewick. But there's some of the big boys, yeah. And I'm talking about the big companies. Yeah. They put so much sweetener in it that it does that. And sometimes within a day. Having to rewick every day sucks. I used to do that. But like, here, I'm gonna empty or get the liquid down. There you go. Keep falling. All right. So now let me show you. I have about this much left in my 120 ml bottle of the acai. And see, it's a little yellowed, but overall that's pretty perfect. So that's what you're looking for. You're looking for a liquid that doesn't gunk up your freaking coils. But you also want one that has, flavor. This one is a little on the weak side. It's okay though. It's okay. It's pretty good though. It's not, like I said, it's not bad at all. It's just a little on the weak side. Phil Holland, listen to this. Everybody listen. Well, Rob, I watched Joker Folie à Deux, and I think I get what the director is getting at. Not as bad as the internet says it is. Gaga a little underused. Yeah. I mean, I haven't seen it yet just because I wasn't a huge fan of the first one. I mean, the first one's fine, but I also was kind of like, why is everybody going on and on about how great this movie is? I mean, it's fine. But actually hearing all the bad things people have said about Joker Folie à Deux, I want to see it. I want to see it now. I still haven't gone to see it. But yeah, I mean, I get that. I get that. But it's also, I don't know. It's like, I don't know. I can't really say anything about it because I haven't seen the movie, but I kind of think I know why people hate it so much. But anyway, $7 shipping isn't bad at all. I've never ordered online. Well, Rufus, I'm just saying. By the way, the test results, we've had some of the test results on this here stream. The test results are really good. Really good. But yeah, it's not bad. There's a lot of online stuff for sure. And some of them have like super, super cheap bottles of e-liquid. But again, they're from the big manufacturers, which tend to put a lot of sweetener in them. But then again, there's some of those that I really like the Jam Monster stuff. Dude, I love those. A lot of people don't like them. I do, but I get it. I get it. You know. I also watched Salem's Lot, which was fine and an okay adaptation. Not great, just okay. That's how I felt, Phil. It was. My biggest issue is that it felt very. And I mean, it might be because it went from 3 hours to 2 hours. But it felt like the characters. The best thing about Stephen King is the characters and the world building, right? The place feeling like a place where it could feel like somewhere that you've been or whatever. It didn't feel like that. It felt very surface level. It just wasn't great. But there you go. There you go. I also rented an Indian movie called Kill, which is about a police commando taking on a train of thieves in a very violent manner. It's okay. Oh, what did you think about it? Because you didn't say anything about Kill. I've actually heard a lot about Kill, and it seemed like it was one of the movies. It feels like, okay, and I'm going to say something that might piss off Indian people, but there's a lot of Indian films that seem very samey. You know, it's that, and it's part of the reason why I didn't want to review a lot of them anymore. It's because so many of them felt very samey. It looks like an interesting movie. It's kind of like Train to Busan is a zombie movie, but it's not like a lot of other zombie movies. This felt like it could be interesting to watch. I just haven't seen it yet. Interested in the FX? Well, I'll say some of the effects are really interesting, and some of them are like, how did they do it better in 1979? But that's just me. Modern Day Taxi Driver. This one was made because the director doesn't like comic movies and tried to sneak in a real movie. I mean, that's what I've heard a lot of people say. Every director should have to make at least one movie set on a train. James Gunn has released some first teaser pics for Superman with Crypto the dog. It's looking good so far. True comic book Superman. So here's the thing. It's James Gunn. People are saying, oh, well, I don't know about the dog. I kind of look at it as I didn't know about Rocket Raccoon. And he became, my favorite character. So who knows? Crypto could be amazing or it could be really bad. We just don't know. Here's the thing, too, is we don't really understand what the tone's going to be. And hopefully he sets that tone and, it's worth watching. I was going to bring it up, but I was kind of like, we'll wait until we can see some actual footage, moving footage. It's kind of like looking at that picture of what do you call it? Sonic. That first picture of Sonic, and everybody went insane. And then they changed a bunch of stuff. But anywho. Let's do some movies. Let's do some movies I watched this week. Watched a lot of martial arts movies, for sure. Let's talk about the first one. The first one that I watched. Actually, it's not the first one I watched. We'll get to that one last. Who saw that coming? The Deadly Duo. This one was interesting. It was fine. You got a guy who's, let's see. Is there a better... the same kind of, my master was killed and we're trying to... The bad guys, It's just the picture. But these are all this is the T. Lung David Chang collection. So all of them have T. Lung and David Chang. It was okay. It was fine. But then I watched Manhunter. Shozama, you still here? If you're still here, this is the movie. This is the movie that you suggested. And it was kind of already in my brain, but I wanted to see it because it's Michael Mann It's one of Michael Mann's movies from 1986. It's got William Peterson, who, I got to say, I really enjoyed in To Live and Die in LA. Even though I'm not a huge fan of that movie, I like him in it. I wanted to see this. And it's basically the prequel to Silence of the Lambs. The original story is called Red Dragon. Of course, later on, you have Red Dragon. They actually made a new version of this story. Ray Fiennes and Anthony Hopkins, of course. And yeah, it was directed by Brett Ratner. So there you go. I got to say, I really enjoyed this. Brian Cox, from Succession, he played Hannibal Lecter in a very different way. He wasn't as creepy as Anthony Hopkins was, but it was still cool. It was still cool to see it. And I enjoyed the story. I mean, I'd seen Red Dragon before. But yeah, it was interesting. And Dennis Farina, it was really interesting. Let's see if I can pull this up. Let's see. Uh, um, so it kind of gives it away a little bit, but this is, yeah, there you go. Anybody recognize Stephen Lang? Stephen Lang is in this. Young guy, right? See that right there? That's Stephen Lang. And then this is Stephen Lang today. He was in Avatar. But yeah, I didn't recognize him watching the movie until I was looking at the credits. And I was like, wait a minute. Stephen Lang. I thought that was kind of cool. That's the kind of stuff that I like about watching old movies. Seeing something like that. Kind of neat. But look, I enjoyed Manhunter. I did. I really enjoyed it. I watched it on Prime. Was it Prime? I don't remember where I watched it, actually. But I enjoyed it. I watched it for free. I streamed it. So it was pretty good. There you go. Manhunter. And then, you might imagine, I watched Duel of Fists. Fists. This one was interesting. It was more modern day. You got a guy that lives in Hong Kong, and his dad is basically on his deathbed and says, "Hey, you have a brother in Thailand." And before he can get real information, there's only a couple of things that about that. He's got his childhood picture, and for some reason, as a child, he had tattoos. But anyway, he's got a childhood picture. He knows he's a Thai boxer, and he lives in Thailand. So he goes to Thailand and finds his brother, and there's a bad boxing promoter guy, and it's a thing. It was fine. It was fine. It was fun. It was fun. But my favorite of all the martial arts films that I watched this week was The Duel, which was also called Duel of the Iron Fist. And this one was, I gotta say, pretty great. It was violent. It was bloody. It's like the bloodiest movie I think I've ever seen in any of the Shaw Brothers movies. It was extremely bloody, and it was just fun, and really it was fun to watch. It was just a fun watch. The ending was kind of dumb, I gotta say, but yeah, it was a thing. It was a thing. I enjoyed it. If you have the means, I recommend it. Now, then I kind of went off script a little bit, and I was like, okay, I don't really want to watch another martial arts movie right now. But what do I got? And then I saw that a movie by Dearest Abby. You know her. She's been in here. Dearest Abby recommended a movie to me. It's a horror movie. And she said, this one's something. It says Ghostland, but it's actually Incident in a Ghostland. It's known both ways. Like if you look it up, sometimes both come up. Anyway, I watched this on Tubi. And on Tubi, look, I've watched things on Tubi before. But if a movie feels slow to you, it's worse on Tubi. This movie felt a little slow to me. It's only 90 minutes, but there were commercials every 15 minutes. That was annoying. And I almost turned it off, but I said, no, nay, even, no, I'm going to stick it out because this was recommended to me. I should give it a chance. And I watched it, and wow. This movie tries to pull the rug out from under you a couple times. And it never felt like that big of a thing. Like when it did it, it was kind of like, oh, okay. You know, it's supposed to be like, oh my God, that's not, oh wow, I didn't see that coming. No, it was kind of like, oh, okay. All right. But basically, this movie is a lot of torture, man. It's a lot of torture. I can see why this movie didn't go like super mainstream. There's a lot of torture in this movie. Now you might be saying, but wait a minute, Terrifier 3 wasn't that number 1 last weekend? Sure. But this one wasn't fun. It just felt like a chore in my opinion. And this is just my opinion. But it didn't work for me. Now I'm going to have to tell Abby when I see her cuz she's not here tonight. If she was, she'd be like, "Oh my God, you watched it." No, she's not here tonight. I'm going to have to tell her that I'm never watching another movie that she recommends. No. It just didn't work for me. And the thing is, most horror movies, they this one was, I'm not going to say it's bad. But if you do watch it, know that you're in for a lot of torture. And it's young women. And it feels kind of wrong. And maybe it's because I have a really twisted mind, but I was sitting there going, "Oh man, this is about to get really rough." It never gets really rough. But it's also like but it's almost like if you're going to go here, why not go all the way? You know what I mean? Like just go the distance. But it never really I don't know. It's weird. It's like they had an idea that, oh man, we're going to make this really twisted. But then they didn't have the balls to go all the way. I don't know. But at the same time, I didn't really want it to go all the way. I didn't actually want what I saw for the most part. But there you go. Look, it's a thing. But I did watch it and I did give it a chance. And I will say, Abby, thank you for the recommendation. It's not for me. Not for me. And then the final movie that I watched, again, not the last movie we're going to talk about, but the final movie that I actually watched this earlier today, was the other movie, The Angry Guest, which is a sequel to Duel of Fists, which I didn't realize until I started watching it. I'm like, oh, okay, more of this. This is late 60s, right? So you can feel this influence. Or no. Where's the year? Put on the I think it's 71 actually. No, 72. 1972. So you can feel like this is a movie where it feels like this is what the kind of movies that Chang Cheh wanted, the director wanted to make. And then you get to this movie, and this is kind of the studio going, hey, you got all these stars together. Why don't you make a sequel to that movie that maybe did well? I don't know. I don't know box office from back in the 70s in Hong Kong. I don't know. I have no idea. But he's like, why don't you do a sequel? And he was like, okay, well, I'm going to try out all these new techniques, and I'm going to take a lot of, influence. I'm going to be influenced by, the James Bond movies. So, you got the bright colors and the villain with like big moving doors and strange architecture, and seriously, I would say there's probably 15 minutes worth of this movie is driving, showing off Tokyo, because that's what happens, right? So the two brothers, right, they found each other, right? And at the end of that movie, they go to Hong Kong. Well, they've been living in Hong Kong, and the brother that still has, his mom's still in Thailand. He's like, I'm going to get my mom and my girlfriend and bring them over. Well, instead of going himself, he sends one of his guys that works in, or that, trains with him. So he goes, he gets killed. His mom gets killed. Spoiler alert. I mean, who cares? And a bunch of crazy things happen. But I was sitting there watching this one and kind of chuckling at how poorly it was almost like they said, let's just get all these guys together and we'll just do some stuff. And the story is very meh. And it was almost like like they were also influenced by early 70s. You know how like in the early 70s things got a little rougher? The violence became a little more almost mean-spirited. And I'm talking about in America. The violence got a little rougher. They started, every now and then there was some nudity, right? And that's what happened. This is the first Shaw movie I've seen in a long time where all of a sudden there's a big sex scene and I'm like, wait, what? Okay. I didn't see that coming. But there you go. The angry guest. Oh, and he says the angry guest in one of the, in the movie, which is kind of funny. But the first movie that I watched, which we're going to watch a clip from, is The Anonymous Heroes. Now, this is a movie set in, I can't remember when it's set. But it's basically the post-Chinese Revolution adventure. So I'm guessing, here's some images from the movie. But I think the reason why people really enjoyed this movie is because of the amazing train sequence. The train sequence was, I'll just say it was something. So, basic storyline is these two guys who are thieves, by the way, they're basically, brought in to try to steal these weapons from the military and put them on a train and take them down south where the revolutionaries can get the weapons, right? So there's people chasing the train. And, a couple of action scenes really poorly done. You can tell it's on a set and all that kind of stuff. But I want to show you the crash. Now, I can't play the audio because they will claim it. And I don't want it to get claimed. Apparently the movie's fine, but just whatever. So I'm going to give you commentary as we watch it, okay? Is everybody ready for this? Because Anonymous Heroes, okay? Anonymous Heroes from 1971, directed by Cheng Che, starring T. Lung and David Chang. You ready? Here we go. Here we go. All right. So they're on the train. Their contact, he gets killed. And they're like, okay, we gotta figure this out. Okay. So they're being chased. Oh my God. Right. They're on the train. And he says, hey, can you get, okay? Yeah, no, it's only a small engine. Okay. All right, fine. And then we're just going to put more wood in to make it go faster. Okay. Okay. You ready? So now, it's going faster. It doesn't look like it's going that fast. But anyway, that doesn't matter. They're still being chased. And then, wow, that takes a long time. Like, and they don't really look like they're riding really hard on the horses. Oh, maybe they realize, it's a runaway train. Oh, here's where he says, the brakes are not functioning. Oh, no. Okay, bridge coming up. You ready? You ready? Oh, no. Jump for it. You ready? Are you ready for this? Okay, here's the important part, okay? All right. Okay, clearly a set. But anyway, Come on, hurry up. We're gonna have to jump for it. Whenever, yeah, disconnect it. Oh, that's a great idea. Yeah, disconnect it. So then the engine goes off by itself. Let's still jump off. Really, really at the top of the train. Okay, all right, here we go. Watch out. Okay. No. There. Oh, did you see that? Did you catch that? Did you catch that? The driver. Oh, no, wait a minute. I'm going to pause here. The driver didn't have time to jump. So apparently it wasn't important enough to pay that actor anymore. So apparently he's just dead. Okay. But here's the thing. Now keep in mind, they were on a train and the train went down the track and it crashed. You ready? Oh, there, it's sinking. There you go. Now watch. Oh, I guess that's where the caboose or the other thing, whatever. Okay, this is the end. No. And then he's like, we're near South City. So the guns are close, right? Go backward and break the rails. Go backward and break the rails. They were being chased on horseback. But go backward and break the rails. Now wait, it gets better. Pepper and I will camouflage the carriage. All right. Hey, there's a push cart on the track. On the track. So, there you go. There you go. So I'm going to go ahead and stop this because now I'm getting a warning. Heads up, we've detected video in your stream belonging to someone else. What does this say? More info. What does this say? Okay. So apparently I got in trouble for that too. I hope you enjoyed that. But there you go. So, the Anonymous Heroes, everyone. I hope you enjoyed that little playback. Yeah, pretty quick. We've detected video in your stream belonging to someone else. Your stream may be temporarily blocked. If you plan to continue, please ensure that the content owner has added your channel to their allow list. So apparently I can't play any clips from movies anymore. Even without audio. So there you go. But I wanted to show you that because it cracked me up, man. I'm like, wait a minute, wait. It went from, wow. I mean, they went really small with the miniatures. But anyway. Oh, let me go back here. Saw the extended Fellowship of the Ring today. Adds a little more info to the story. I like the part where the 9 dudes get their weapons from Galadriel and Jinzu. Dude, I love the extended versions. But I still think, man, Fellowship's my favorite. Good news on David Chang. If you watch one of his movies, you have seen them all. I mean, true, but I still like them. It's kind of like, to me, martial arts movies are like horror movies. Most of them aren't great, but there's a couple of them that are really, really good. And it's just a genre that a lot of people just don't like. And they don't watch them. They don't like them, whatever. I get it. I totally get it. Because I'm that way with horror. Horror. Ricky, horror. But for some reason, martial arts movies, I can watch them all day long. Seriously. I can watch them all day long. I love them. So, there you go. Might go see Smile 2 this weekend. I didn't even watch the first one. The first one was like, oh, I can see where that's going. Okay. I just doesn't look like my thing. Yes, Shozama. Yes, Shozama. Manhunter. You like those filters? Hey, man. Uh, they're cool, and like I said, I'm gonna try to do a video and try to figure out how they work and all that stuff and what they should be used for and stuff like that. Smile 1 and 2 tomorrow night at my cinema. Well, Phil, that sounds awesome. I mean, if you're gonna do it, that sounds like a fun way to do it. So there you go. Smile 1 was one of my favorite horror movies in the past few years. Yeah, I just never got around to seeing it because it was like, I might watch it. I might watch it. Glad you enjoyed the film. Stephen Lang has had such a diverse career. Brian Cox is an interesting Hannibal, and William Peterson is good in it as well. Yeah, it's a great movie. Michael Mann, Dennis Farina. Dennis Farina is one of those character actors that I just love. But yeah, sorry about the ads in Jinzu. I mean, and what's weird is I have that turned off. I thought I did. I don't know. But sorry about that. Let's see. Director of Martyrs. I know the Martyrs movie. Also gruesome. There's 2 Martyrs movies, right? I don't get it. First we get the revolutionaries, then we get the weapons, then we get the chicks. Well, I never really get the chicks, but. And how's it going, Bonobo Juice? How are you doing? You doing all right? It's good to see you. Trains are so fun. The miniatures are so good. And those men on horses should have caught up by now. Yeah, for sure. For sure. A magic push cart. It's weird because at first I was like, okay, wait a minute. They were being chased. They were on horses. So why are you gonna, okay, you're gonna mess up the track. Okay. But then the push cart, and I'm like, wait a minute, the train went through there. Where'd the push cart come from? Wait, there's a push cart right on the it just made me laugh. It just made me laugh. Warning, what you're watching is too funny. Please stop or risk demons. Apparently. Why? I don't know. I mean, I get it, I guess. But I don't know. Oh, you meant the ads on Tubi. Gotcha. Put him in the corner of the screen while playing Breath of the Wild. Yeah. And see, that may be what it is because it was full screen. There was no other ads or not, nothing else. My face wasn't on there, all that stuff. That Kill movie, Hollywood remaking it, and I asked myself why. If they insist, then give it to Scott Adkins. I don't understand that either. I actually heard about that they were going to do that. And that's a little frustrating. But I need to see it. Let's see. Bam. Is it just available to like rent and stuff? Let's see. 2024 Kill. Yes. So you can rent it. That's not bad. Just rent it for $5.99. That's not bad. Look at that. 86% on whatever that is. What is this? What rating is this? What's the little arrow with the dots? But 7.6 on there, 89% on Rotten Tomatoes. That's pretty good. I need to watch it. I need to give it a shot. Now, here's something I might get in trouble for. Just bringing this guy's name up, apparently. I don't know. Maybe. Who knows? But this is on the Twitter X. Peter NC17. I want to bring this to your attention in case you're one of those people that are like, I like alternate versions of movies. Because this dude, this is what he says. So apparently, I don't know how long he's been around. Let's see. Does it say? Joined October 2009. Okay, he's been around a while. Just wanted to thank every single one of you guys. I enjoy sharing these rare pieces of media like the work prints, VHS, laserdiscs, and screeners. Truly makes me so happy that you guys are finding this content interesting. Big love, everyone, and have a great week. But, let's see. Let's go down. Let me show you, because he does do that a lot. He does the whole quote thing. But there you go. The Wall, 1980, theatrical. Download in the comments. Laserdisc of this movie. Download in the comments. But there's a ton of work prints, alternate versions. See, I wish he didn't do that so much. The best horror of all time. Let's see what wins. I'll give away a special prize. Don't know what he's doing there. But there you go. Bloodsport, Laserdisc, open mat. Drive by, screener. Pee-wee's Big Adventure, screener, open mat. American Ninja 4, Laserdisc, extended cut. Transformers, Five Faces of Darkness, Laserdisc. You get my point? You get my point? There's a ton of stuff, man. Open mat, theatrical. I don't know where this guy's getting this stuff. Are you seeing this? Gothic, Lair of the White Worm, both uncut. So I'm just putting this out there. If you're interested in that stuff, there you go. Peter NC17 on the Twitter X. Just saying. Just saying. If everyone wants to watch a good modern martial arts star, seek out Scott Adkins. Okay, thank you. Now they need to make The Door. My translucent purple shell for my Switch and the Joy-Cons came in, so about to disassemble and install that. Ricky, you do the thing. Do the thing. Do it. Wait a minute. Did I get a message? Oh. No. I thought it was a message from YouTube. Sorry. So, we saw what I've been watching, which is, a bunch of martial arts films. I've got 4 more, I think, in the T. Lung David Chang collection, and then I've got the Shaw Brothers classics down there, which we've shown off before. There's 3 boxes of movies, and of course, I'm going to be watching other stuff in between. But yeah, show you what I've been reading. We talked about it. The Great Book of King Arthur by John Matthews. Now, okay, so I read Le Morte d'Arthur, and then I read Once and Future King, plus the Book of Merlin as well. So getting to see their versions. So each one has a different version, a different feel. This one is interesting because it's a lot of the stories surrounding King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table, but different stories than I'd ever heard before. So it's really cool. And of course, art by John Howe. Very nice. Very nice. I would recommend, if you're a fan of King Arthur, these are stories you've never read before. I'd never read them before. I didn't even know about some of these stories, which was cool. So basically, with this being finished, my King Arthur quest has been completed. I don't have any other King Arthur things on my list as of right now. So I finished this today, actually, earlier today. And tonight, I will be starting Warbreaker from Sanderson. Brandon Sanderson. Brandon Sanderson. So starting this, the next book in the Cosmere. So there you go. There you go. Reading. It's what's for dinner. Arthur Pendragon? Yes. I love, for some reason, I love martial arts. I like martial arts stuff too. I love Middle Ages stuff. I do it. I do. I love it. So reading all that, I'd read Le Morte d'Arthur and Once and Future King back in high school because it was, part of whatever we were doing. And I enjoyed them then, but I just, for some reason, I just wanted to read them again. Mainly because I wanted inspiration for I kind of want to write a story or come up with a story that's set in the Middle Ages, because why not? Um, so yeah, getting to read in that style and all that and kind of get my mind in that world, maybe something will come up, maybe not. But there you go. Bram Stoker Sanderson. Yes. King Arthur VH1's Behind the Music. Crimson Sky is the book. What's that? What's Crimson Sky? Lurking Complete finished Pandora's Box 1929 and left some thoughts in Discord. Thank you, Shozama. See, again, man, I'll say it again. I love Criterion. I mean, look, I love Arrow. Everybody is doing great work. You know, Second Sight, Umbrella, Imprint, Vinegar Syndrome, all of those guys, all of the different manufacturers of Blu-rays are doing amazing work. The problem is not all of them are movies that I don't need to see. There are movies that probably will never get that mainstream appeal. And that's great. And I love the fact that they're getting these lush editions and all that kind of stuff. But Criterion, man, Criterion is, if I could have a complete collection, it would be the Criterion collection. Because there are movies in there. There are so many movies that I want to see. And so many movies that I want to see them. I don't know if I need to own them. I can tell you this. If I was financially free, I would be buying Criterions all the time. I'd get caught up with the 1,100 or however many they're on now. I'd have the whole collection because I love Criterion that much. And even movies that, you know, like House. Didn't like that movie, but it was still, I'm glad I watched it. Started the first book in the Dagger and Coin series from one of the dudes who wrote The Expanse. Early on, but really digging his style so far. Okay. Well, I'll keep that on my radar, and you let us know how it goes, Bucho. It's interesting that you're getting into, well, I guess it depends. What is it? What kind of book is it? Dagger and Coin to me sounds like it could be a lot of things. If I could afford it, it would have so many. I would have so many Criterion martial arts or samurai movies. I have quite a few, but it's mostly Kurosawa because Kurosawa's the man. I've seen a lot of the other ones like Harakiri and Sword of Doom. I basically went through it. If it was a martial arts movie and it was available to stream somewhere, I'd watch it. But there's still some there. I mean, I still have holes in my Kurosawa watch list, and I mean, there's just so many movies, and that's why, like, when I have a list like that of all these movies, I really want to see these Criterion movies and all that stuff. Even stuff, you know, like I've never watched 8.5. I've never watched, you know what I mean? Just there are great movies that a lot of people. Breathless, never seen Breathless. It's on my list, but it's like, when you have all these holes in your knowledge or whatever, for you to say, "Oh, I'm going to watch this horror movie that looks like the kind of thing that's just not my thing," it's hard for me to make time for that when there's all these other things, you know? But you know what I mean. And by the way, Yojimbo and Sanjuro, Criterion is releasing in January in 4K. I have the Blu-ray. I can't justify upgrading that one. I don't like those quite as much as like Seven Samurai. You know, buying Seven Samurai in 4K, and it's coming whenever it's coming. But yeah. I got it. Game Chasers, Medieval D's Nuts. The plot: the game chasers fall down a hole in a cave chasing a rare game and find themselves in medieval times. I mean, that could be a thing. That could be fun. I was more thinking a more serious one, but you never know. See, like all the other stories that I got cooking in my head right now, they're not Game Chasers related, and There's one that's more comedic, but it's not the same level of humor as like the Game Chasers are. You know what I mean? It's just it's a different style of comedy. Um, but and the other stories are like super serious. You know, I mean, there might be funny things that happen in them, but they're definitely more serious. There's one that's very bloody. I'm very excited about that one, but we'll see. There's one I saw and put in my watch list called Onibaba. I want to see it. Watched it. And all of those are good. Like what is it? There's Three Outlaw Samurai. There's a bunch of them. There's a bunch of them. Kuroneko? Is that right? Kuroneko? But I've watched a bunch of those. And I like them, but I didn't want to buy them. Yojimbo and Sanjuro is on that list of I watched them, I liked them, I wanted to own them. Don't need them in 4K though. I just don't. I don't watch it enough to justify that. Seven Samurai, I could probably watch once a month. So now, will I? Probably not. Like Black Knight with Martin Lawrence. I mean, maybe. I like a quest movie in a medieval setting. Well, that's the great thing about a lot of the King Arthur stories, is that many of them are, it's like, that seems like where Legend of Zelda got that idea. You know? That little quest that's in this game came from King Arthur, which I think is cool, you know? And it's kind of like, you know, you watch Citizen Kane and you learn, oh, that's where everybody learned that technique, that camera technique. Because he's the one that started a lot of that stuff. That's why Citizen Kane is so much fun to watch, because you're like, oh, I've seen that 100 times. Oh, this is the first time that's ever been done. Oh, okay. Okay. That's cool. You know? You know what I mean? How is Onibaba though in general? Well, it's been a while since I've seen it. 1964, 7.9. Let me look at the two women kill samurai and sell their belongings for a living. While one of them is having an affair with their neighbor, the other woman meets a mysterious samurai wearing a bizarre mask. Oh, yeah. It's kind of like a ghost story. Yes. In a way. It's good. It's good. But the weird thing is that like, and you know what I'm talking about. Some movies, especially from this time period, they're like, you can see it and go, that was a good movie. I don't need to see it again. That's one of these movies where it's almost like the techniques are cool and seeing everything play out was cool, but I don't need to see it again. But that's me. I'm seeing a little clip play, and I get it. They almost showed boob in that trailer. That was close. Like I said, it's good. It's good. You should watch it. Just watch it. Especially if it's on, I mean, I think it's on Max, right? Just watch it. Watch it. Billy was wearing the horse's head mask in the cave and it's stuck and won't come off. Expansive sci-fi, of course, and was written by James S.A. Corey. Yes. So this is a fantasy novel. Okay. Turns out that James S.A. Corey was actually a pen name for a pair of authors, Daniel Abraham and Ty Frank. I didn't actually know that. Interesting. Ghostly, that sounds nifty. Yeah, it's an interesting movie. But like a lot of times with Criterion, like a lot of them are stories that don't quite work as a story, but there's a technique or something about it that makes it interesting and makes it worth watching and worth talking about. Like, and I'm talking about in cinematic terms. Like you can read like if you buy the Criterion, you can read the article or the essays and learn more about that. And then you watch the special features and you learn more about that. And that's fun. As a movie dork, Not just watching movies, but studying them and kind of like learning about the process and the concepts and all that stuff. That's really fun. But to me, that doesn't work as I'm just gonna pop on Onibaba today. It probably never happened. Seven Samurai is a movie that I can just pop on and watch, and it's awesome. In fact, I'm really looking forward to getting that 4K because I want to watch it again at home and be able to just take it all in. Ah, what a great movie. Redbeard. I still haven't seen Redbeard. That's also on my list. And yeah, I mean, if that's awesome. Daniel Abraham was writing the 5-book Dagger and Coin series at the same time as he was co-writing the Expanse novels. I love the invincible armor so much that I ended up buying it. We're gonna look it up. Oh, it's on, dude. It's on everything: Prime, Tubi, Vudu, Roku. Okay. I don't know if I've seen that. Let me see. Wang Jiang Li is a corrupt Ming guard who frames John Liu for murder. A wanted fugitive, John hides out with a teen who is an expert in the infamous iron armor technique, a technique that means the expert can withstand anything. However, Huang is an expert in it as well as the Eagle's Claw. Can John stop Wang before it's too late? I mean, I don't know. Can he? Invincible armor. Let's see. I might have seen it, but I don't know. Dude, I've seen so many. And all of them have names like that. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I respect you watching the well put together martial arts movies. Have you seen Bloodsport? Might be cheesy, but that's one of the best martial arts movies in my opinion. I am not a Jean-Claude Van Damme fan. I'm sorry. I'm just not. And I know, I get it. People get on to me all the time for it, but I think he's not a good actor. It's just my opinion. But I've watched Bloodsport, I've watched Kickboxer, and I get it. I totally understand why people like him. Because he's got the whole thing. I get it. He's awesome. When he's fighting, not when he's talking or when there's a story to be told. That's just my opinion. I'm not a fan. But I get it. But the thing is, a lot of these, when you say the well put together, these, the Shaw Brothers movies are kind of on the upper tier of martial arts film in general, in my opinion. Now, I mean, of course, you got Golden Harvest too, right? Golden Harvest has some great stuff too. Legend, Drunken Master, all that stuff. I get it. There's some great ones. But to me, I've always, like, when I saw, like, as a kid, when I saw the Shaw Brothers logo at the beginning of the movie, I was like, this is going to be great. I'm going to enjoy watching this. And it's something from my childhood that I don't know. It's something I love about it. But man, some of these are freaking cheesy. And there were some on the Shawscope collection. I can't remember the names of them because, like I said, they all are like the invincible armor and, the duel. I mean, look, Vengeance, Anonymous Heroes, The Duel, The Angry Guest, Deadly Duo, Duel of Fists. How many? I mean, those are so close the titles are so close, man. It's hard to remember, you know what I mean? I feel like I'm overhyping Redbeard, but I just love that movie. Dude, it's Akira Kurosawa and it's Toshiro Mifune. Enough said, dude. I'm in. I just haven't gotten around to seeing it. Gina Carano wants Pedro Pascal to testify in her case against Disney. She has no case. Zero case. Zero case. She needs to suck it up and find something else to do because you bit the hand that fed you repeatedly. There is no case. So Pedro, no, will stay far, 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 far away from that. It's not going to happen. Gina needs to go away. You're, and this is coming from somebody who was a huge Gina Carano fan back when she was fighting. And when she moved over to acting, I was pulling for her, man. I was like, I want her to be a star. And then I was like, wow, she can't really act that bad, that well. Okay, well, I mean, at least she's kind of, she's attractive and all that. And then she started opening her mouth and she couldn't keep it closed. They asked her to stop repeatedly. Any employer has any right to fire someone. Well, they didn't do anything to Pedro. They asked Pedro to stop, and guess what? He stopped. Simple. Why should anyone care what Gina Carano has to say? That simple as that. And anybody in any court of law should be able to see that. You have no case. Can he stop him? Anyway. And tons of them have the whole kill the higher up and become the leader type thing too. Right. Or my master's been killed. I have to avenge my master. I'm going to go learn this special technique that's been passed down for whatever. Almost all the stories are the same. And in a lot of cases, they don't even have a script. They get to, hey, we're shooting this movie today. We have no idea what's going to happen. And that's fine. But I go in with it going, I know that the story is going to be meh. And I'm just in for cool martial arts action. And sometimes it's awesome. And like the martial arts action is awesome. Sometimes it's very mid. And then sometimes, every now and then, you get a killer freaking story too. In my opinion, my favorite one, in fact, it might be my favorite martial arts movie. The 36th Chamber of Shaolin. Gordon Liu, amazing movie. I love that movie. I've seen that multiple times. I bought it on I bought it on DVD. Then I bought it on Blu-ray, and then it's part of the Shawscope Volume 2 set. I love that movie. But that's very rare for the actual story to be good too. You know what I mean? Most of the time, it's exactly what you're saying. But as long as you don't like Steven Seagal, that's fine. Oh, as long as you also don't like Steven Seagal. Oh, I can't stand Steven Seagal. I never liked him either. JCVD is not for everyone, but he's one of my favorites. Just saw one of his earlier films that was good. Black Eagle. He plays a villain. Yeah, I mean, he's not my thing. It's not my thing. Other problem with Bloodsport, based on stories by Frank Bullshit Ducks. And yeah, Shazam, I saw that about the Ringo Lamb. I never watched Maximum Risk for obvious reasons. Because like my friends wanted to see it and I'm like, have fun. Just not for me. Oh yeah. Crippled Adventures. That's a good one. And what is it? Return of the Five Deadly Venoms. That's a fun one too. I love me some Gina Carano, but she wouldn't stop and she said some insanely stupid shit. Yeah. Your next Ringo Lamb movie, In Hell. Been gone a while now, yeah. I'm in it for the dancing martial arts stuff. It's just fun to watch. Yeah, 36 Chamber is simply amazing. Amazing album too. Didn't know it was a movie. Oh yeah, you need to watch 36 Chamber of Shaolin. It is like, you know how like everybody like got really Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon crazy when it came out? You know, it was on the Oscars and all that stuff, and people were just like going nuts about, oh my God, this movie's so beautiful. It's good. Now watch 36 Chamber because damn. Indeed on Gina Carano. Rob, don't know why it's news everywhere. She does need to move on. Bloodsport is based on the life of Frank Dux. He's a character and an idiot and liar. Oh. Supposedly a settlement is likely for Carano, so maybe she has a case. Look, it's not about what she said. It's that she didn't follow the fucking rules. If they pay her, I'm actually going to be angry. I will actually be angry about it. Sorry, I'm just reading real fast. Her words were consistently twisted to demonize and dehumanize me as an alt-right wing extremist during the public dust-up 3 years ago. I mean, look, in a way, I can kind of see a path, but at the same time, this wasn't like Scarlett Johansson, right? When Scarlett Johansson got a bunch of money. Because she had it in writing. Hey, I get so much money from a theatrical release. And then they just drop it on Disney Plus at the same time, which basically means we don't have to pay Scarlett Johansson as much. That was in her contract. That's a completely different story. And on top of that, I don't think any... Look, I don't like being on the side of an employer because I think most companies, they're kind of only out for a profit and they don't give a crap about their employees. But here's the thing. You got to follow the freaking rules. You know what I mean? You got to follow the rules and you got to follow the line. However stupid it may be, you have to follow the rules of your employer or they will fire your ass. And that's exactly what happened. She tested the limits. Disney said, hey, knock that off. And she's like, okay. And then does it again. Disney's like, okay, hello? Oh, sorry. And then she did it, what, 4 times? And Disney got onto her multiple times? Get the F out. I'm sorry. I would be completely on the side of Disney in this case. Because she's an idiot. Or she's mentally not all there. Now, if that was the case, if you could prove that, maybe you have a chance. But in my opinion, when you completely go against the company that's paying you hundreds of thousands, maybe millions, I don't know how much she gets paid or she got paid for that. I don't know what her salary was. It honestly doesn't matter. What matters is that she's an employee and she continually broke the rules. And I think any company that sets a guideline, and it's kind of like, it's almost like, okay, you want to say that. It's totally within your right as an American to say those things. But if you're going to work with us, you have to knock that shit off. And if you don't, you can go somewhere else. That's what she was told. And she continued to push the limits, and that's what happened. Now, the thing that they actually went nuts over is one of those that could be taken a couple of different ways. I don't even remember what the thing was. But I remember thinking, I can kind of see it both ways. But you continued to push the agenda. Or not agenda, but you continued to push the limit of what you're supposed to be doing as an employee of Disney. So get the F out. I don't care. I don't care how you took that tweet. She broke the rule. Again, get out of here. Disney's not about that. And again, I don't like being on the side of a huge corporation that probably, supposedly, allegedly, or could, do any number of things to employees that's kind of crappy or whatever, right? There's been all kinds of different cases with Disney. But in my opinion, in this case, Disney is a completely 100% in the right to do what they did. And she said she should go away. Go work with what's his face on the news channel or whatever, that idiot. Yeah, go do all the right-wing stuff that you keep doing anyway. Go do that. Go do that stuff. You made your bed, now you got to sleep in it. Not Gary, what's going on? Good to see you. Not a law expert. Well, I mean, I'm not either. But I could see how a good lawyer could maybe get something, but I would be angry if Disney has to pay her a single cent. I knew the RZA was a big fan of the old Kung Fu flicks. Didn't know they jacked the name. Is that the flick that the Wu-Tang Clan comes from? I'm not sure, but no, he's a huge martial arts fan. And there's nothing, he didn't jack anything. And if anything, it's more it honors it. That's one of the things that I like about the Wu-Tang Clan. It's how much they honor martial arts stuff, which I kind of like. I think that's cool. Was it conspiracy stuff or more deranged? I mean, it was basically getting negative attention. And see, that's the thing. When it really comes down to it, it doesn't matter what she said. What she said was inflammatory that caused news outlets to report on what she was saying. Then Disney looks at that and says, you need to stop that because we're a family company and we don't want the kind of attention that you're grabbing. You know, you're giving us attention that we don't want. We don't want to be a part of that conversation. So knock that crap off. I'm on Top Chat and I just realized that. So I apologize if I missed anybody's messages. What am I, a freaking novice here? But sorry about that. But yeah. So it really doesn't matter what she said. The fact is she kept doing it. It irritates me. In my opinion, she's one of those people that she probably, because she's from Texas. Sorry, but it's true. We all have, if you live in Texas, you might have some friends that think some pretty insane stuff. You might have heard some things at the 7-Eleven or the Quick Trip or whatever gas station you go into. You're going to hear some crazy shit. And you repeat it. It's going to get you some attention. Maybe she loves attention. But it's the wrong kind of attention. It's not the kind of attention Disney wants. She should have stopped immediately. Post pictures of puppies and cats and whatever else. But don't post shit like that. She kept doing it repeatedly. She broke the rules. I would have fired her. Anyway. Yeah, heavily influenced by those movies. Yes. But yeah, it was more right-wing stuff and stuff about, I mean, something about the transgender stuff, and she did the beep bop boop in her Twitter thing instead of male, female, or his, her, him, her, whatever the he, him, she, her thing, right? She put in there beep bop boop or whatever. And it was just like, and people like applauded her for it. And the thing is whether you believe in the he, him, she, her, whatever the thing, the they, them, all that stuff, whether you believe it or not, I'm kind of one of those people that I looked at that and I was kind of like, you know what? You shouldn't have to play their game. And again, that might get me in trouble. But here's the thing. I don't think that everyone should be able. Okay, you can play any rule. You can play the game any way you want to play. But when you start making other people play the game the way that you see it, that's wrong. So I kind of applauded her for saying, look, this isn't my thing, and I'm not playing that game. I don't play that game. So there you go. But then she kept on going, and you could tell that she was enjoying the attention she was getting. And she kept pushing the buttons, man. And it irritated, again, it irritated Disney. And then it irritated me that she wouldn't stop. So, and I kept seeing her pop up in articles, and I'm like, oh, damn it, here she goes again. And this is, again, somebody who is a fan. Now I just think she's a moron, and she deserves nothing, in my opinion. If I were you, I'd be more angry at Billy, because I don't think he ate any of that cereal. I'm pretty sure he did. He described things that were very close to us, but supposedly there's some California law that protects employees for being politically active. I would love to see that. And if that's true, that's another reason why, well, it's not the first time that California would be wrong. But again, hashtag no politics. I'm not a political person. And in a lot of cases, I don't care. It just doesn't, yeah, we'll just keep it there. Let me Google what she said. No need to repeat. But see, that's the thing. I don't care. I don't care talking about it. My opinion is she was wrong. I see why people in Disney are upset. Okay, moving on. Oh, there you go. Yeah, I probably should have moved on a long time ago. It's all right. Only thing is there's a lot of actors, actresses saying left-wing stuff, but I don't think it's smart to get caught up in politics either. Right, but here's the thing. If you're saying left-wing stuff, right-wing stuff, whatever you're saying, if your company, she's working for Disney, she's employed by Disney, because it's not a movie where you get one paycheck and, oh, well, Disney doesn't want to work with you anymore. I'll go across the street to Warner Brothers, to Sony, to any of the other companies, right? And I can be employed by them. That's fine. But when you are working for Disney, you're part of this show. It's the only thing you got going. Am I right? It was the only thing she had going at the time, and she's in the hottest show in the world at the time. You're in the hottest show, and you still want to push these buttons. I'm sorry, but screw you. You're an idiot. You're a freaking idiot, and you deserve what you got. You deserve to get fired. And guess what? Cara Dune wasn't that great of a character in the first place. I can think of many actresses that would have done a better job. It'll be interesting if the case leads to the airing of exactly what's in those actor studio contracts. Well, yeah, I mean, it would have to, right? The firing was due to breach of contract, right? But see, here's the thing. I don't know if she actually got fired. They just didn't write Cara Dune into the script anymore. It's kind of like, what's his name with the stapler in Office Space? We just stopped the paycheck. And it just kind of works itself out. Yeah, that's basically what happened. She was written out of the show. There's nothing, and that's probably where Disney's going to win, is because there's nothing in any contract that says your character has to continue. But there you go. Knights of Old, welcome. It's been a while. Good to see you. I've heard a lot of shit. Yeah, why haven't they gotten rid of Rachel Ziegler? She's awful. I don't know if I've seen anything with her. Have two accounts, a private one not in your name and the film star one if you really must tweet shit. You're back, Robert? Well, welcome back. I agree with you. It was a point in time where a lot of people were saying crazy stuff on both sides to where it's common sense that you shouldn't say that in public like that. But that's the thing too, right? You can say whatever you want, but there are consequences. There are consequences. Especially if, it's your real name. John Michael Edwards. How are you doing, sir? Thought I would drop in and listen for a while. Might learn something. I don't know about that. It's good to see you, though. Good. You disagree? What do you disagree with, Vinny? I mean, seriously. I mean, you dare come in here and tell me that I'm wrong? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No, I mean, it's all for the purpose of speaking about talking, you know? We're not, nobody's got hurt feelings or anything like that. And I hope seriously, my viewpoint on it isn't meant to be in any way, you know, I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings or talk bad shit or, you know what I mean? I try to be very, you know, chill about most things, but something like that, it pisses me off because she had it. They had, what is it, Rangers of the New Republic? They were building a show around her. And she does this shit. And I'm like, okay, number one, you kind of screwed yourself out of this, but you screwed me out of a show that sounded like it could be really interesting. It just sucks. She's not done anything since, right? Well, she did some movie with the guy, the dude that does the news stuff, but he's also like he's kind of a right-wing guy. And I don't know much about the guy. I just know a lot of people don't like him and a lot of people do like him. I don't know. I just went, okay, it's not my thing, but okay. Sorry, I had a phone call. Wraith, how dare you? How dare you have a phone call in the middle of my stream? In fact, everyone should put your phone and your computer and everything in do not disturb so that you can devote your full attention. And Showzama, speaking of it, Showzama, how dare you watch a movie while you're in this here stream? I'm kidding. I'm kidding. You know, you'll do your thing. You don't have to apologize for anything or going, oh man, I'm sorry, I had to go pee. Speaking of, it's been 2.5 hours and I haven't peed in 2.5 hours. I should probably hydrate. Oh, were you disagreeing with? I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on. Noted and acknowledged. All good. Relax. Oh, I mean, I don't think everything's good. I don't know what's going on. Did I miss something? Oh, well, I mean, we haven't seen Snow White yet. Same. Did you know Gina Carano was in Command and Conquer 3? No, I didn't. But I mean, she was in the first Deadpool, right? Oh, dang, I hadn't heard that she hadn't even been fired. If you weren't terminated, it seems tough to win a wrongful termination suit. Right? They didn't recast her. You remember The Mandalorian season 3? They didn't recast her. Gina's off doing whatever. So her character's still alive. Hate when people don't silence their phones during a movie. It takes 2 seconds. Yeah. Are you getting excited for Nosferatu? Oh my God, I want to see it. I'm one of those where I don't think any of his movies, Eggers, right? Robert Eggers? Is that his name? Director? All of his movies I've watched and I enjoy parts of all of them. I don't really need to see any of them ever again. But I'm also like, I still love the guy's style. And I look at the trailer for that movie and I go, that looks awesome. So yes, Knights of Old. I want to see Nosferatu really bad. And more than anything, I want freaking, what's his name? Skarsgård. What's his first name? I want him to have a hit this year. Because I like that kid. Bill. It's the easiest name in the world. Bill Skarsgård. I want him to have a freaking good year. I mean, he's had a pretty shitty year. He had Boy Kills World. He had The Crow. But I really like him. And Boy Kills World was awesome. If you haven't seen Boy Kills World, you should watch that. It's on, at least in America, it's on Hulu. It was fun. It's a fun movie. John Wick 4, yes. I love him. I think he's great. In fact, he was my favorite part of Barbarian. I didn't really care for the movie that much. I mean, I understand why people liked it. Oh man, it was so twisted and weird. Okay, well, you have no imagination because I've had daydreams that are worse than that. You know what I mean? Maybe that's why I don't like horror. They don't really shock me or something. I don't know. But Barbarian was like meh. But he was great. I love him. So what is it, man? Suing Disney and Elon is paying for the lawyers. Well, okay. And that's okay. You want to talk about something like annoying? Is that everybody keeps talking about how Elon Musk is this and then blah blah blah. Did you see what SpaceX did this weekend? That's what we should be focusing on. I wish I was in Elon's circle so I could try to talk him off of the soapbox. Quit, just please, just come down. Just come. I know that you have thoughts and you want everybody to know them. That's why you bought Twitter and all that stuff. But please, just come, just please. You're getting the focus. SpaceX should be the focus. What Tesla does, the amazing. I mean, look, not everything about Tesla is great. Okay, lithium, the process of batteries. I mean, shit. You know, it's not the greatest thing ever, but it is pretty amazing, and it's technologically sound, and it's like, wow, it's very, very impressive. Quit taking all of the press, please. Step down off the soapbox. You're just not that interesting. You're just not that interesting. I'm sorry. Does anyone? Okay, man, I'm really getting dangerously close to my hashtag no politics. But please, just come off the soapbox, please. Let SpaceX be the focus, please. Because wow. Anyway, sorry. I might see that instead of Smile too. Well, Nosferatu doesn't come out to December, right? But anyway, Gina kind of had the last laugh with Mando in a way. The worst season was the one without her in it. But yeah, but I haven't seen Witch or Norseman. Good. Lighthouse was cool, but strange. Okay, Witch and Norse. I mean, it's the same thing. There's going to be moments in each one of those movies. It's like, wow, this is a gorgeously shot. I love the atmosphere, all that stuff. The stories just, at least for me, none of those stories really hit all the marks. Characterization, the characters are great. The acting is great. Technically, the movie's amazing. The story is just, it just doesn't hit all the way for me. And that's how I look at all of Eggers' movies. But I can't wait for the next one. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's kind of how I feel. I still say it's worth watching, worth giving it a shot. Because you might be you might go exactly the opposite way of me, and say no, that was amazing. The Witch was amazing. The Vivitch or the Norseman. Yeah, you might love them. I watched Boy Curls World because Order 42 told me to. Can confirm it is a lot of fun. Thank you, Bucho. I appreciate that. Tuesdays when I usually watch movies since my day off. New release on digital and physical. Also discount Tuesdays in the theater, so sometimes I preempt Order 42 due to start times. How dare you? How dare you do the exact thing that I have been telling everyone about, but completely on your own, because in some ways we're very like-minded. We have some similar tastes. How dare you? But thank you. But yes. Oh my God, the sales on digital. Okay, look, Showzama and I were talking about this earlier. As far as I'm concerned, Blade Runner 2049 is the movie that I owned on digital, and then I went ahead and bought the 4K Blu-ray, right? Because I was like, I mean, I love this movie. I should have it on disc, right? Of course, yes. Put it in and was it's so far and above the digital, the sound quality, the everything. It was so much better. So it's basically in my head has because there was always like, oh, I'll buy digital every now and then if it makes sense or whatever. But now it's kind of like, if I really like the movie enough to buy it, I need to buy it on disc. That's kind of how I feel now. But holy crap, there's so many great sales. If you're a horror film fan, go to the blu-ray.com. I need to make that a thing. A thing that Nightbot. Can we do that? Can we do that? I mean, yeah, of course we can do that, but will we do that? I don't know. We're both lazy. Nightbot's kind of lazy sometimes. Just saying. But there are some amazing, amazing deals. Damn it. There are some amazing deals right now on Blu-ray.com. Go here. Amazing deals on horror movies. 5 scary movies, $20. 8 Stephen King movies for $10. 4 movies for $20. The Sixth Sense Unbreakable Science for $12.99. Frights 5 film collection, which includes The Conjuring, Annabelle, A Nightmare on Elm Street, Final Destination, Stephen King's It for $20. 6 horror classics for $20. Scream, the last Scream, the Scream 6, $5. Look through there. There's so many freaking good movies that are super freaking cheap. Dude, that deal right there, Shutter Island, The Ring, Zodiac, Paranormal Activity, and Sleepy Hollow for $20. I mean, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. So basically, look, I get it. If you don't like digital, I get it. But man, there's some good movies. Some good deals there. So there you go. And of course, you can choose your country up at the top. You can choose here. You can choose your country up here. You can switch over and say, okay, what Amazon deals do they have? Okay, here's all the deals on discs. Oh, get out of here. I turned the ads off because there's so many freaking ads on this. Maybe you use an ad blocker when you go to Blu-ray.com. But yeah, I just want 4K discs. What are the good deals on the 4K discs? Okay, let's filter out all the Blu-ray. There you go. Oh, interested in comics? Hey, here's all the comics that are on sale right now. Books, Lego, Switch, Xbox, PS5. Dude, it's a great site. Okay? I'm just saying, I'm not sponsored or anything like that. I just think that if you haven't gone there, you might want to go there because you get some good deals. Pretty good. Memento is so good the first time you watch it. Wouldn't call it horror. Well, I mean, it's a thriller, suspense, whatever. But yeah, it's a good movie. Not every movie is a physical buy, shelf worthy, but some movies are rental $3.99, but a buy digital $5. So I'd rather buy cheap and able to rewatch. Yes, and in some cases you get a lot of the special features, if not all the special features that are available on the disc anyway. Because here's okay. You want a great example? A great example of a movie that I need to buy on disc, but I won't, is Civil War. Actually, Civil War, right? That came out earlier in the year. To me, the ending completely just, I didn't like the ending. I think the ending, it wasn't like, oh, I didn't like that this character did something that I didn't like. No, it was more like, that kind of betrays your whole point of the movie, doesn't it? In a way. Like, okay, so what is the point? I don't understand. And it just kind of made me a little angry. But anyway, that's just my opinion. Okay? But Civil War has I say this, I haven't seen it, but it has a making of documentary by Charles de Lauzirika. If you're a fan of this channel, you might have heard me say Charles de Lauzirika 100 million times. And it's because he did all the best making of special featured things I've probably ever seen. Right? You got Blade Runner, Dangerous Days, If you're a fan of Blade Runner, the original Blade Runner, and you haven't seen Dangerous Days, you need to, because it's amazing. But then he went and said, "Oh, I want to do this amazing thing for the Alien set, right? All the special features done by Charles de Lauzirika." So basically, I'm a Charles de Lauzirika fan. And his documentary is only on the 4K disc. So I can't buy it digitally because I didn't really care for the movie. But that documentary is not on the digital. So I got to buy the disc if I want to see that. So there you go. Oh, we got some Boy Kills World love in here too. Semi-related, seems like Dungeons and Dragons is blown up on Netflix enough that there's sequel talk now. Oh yeah, well that's yeah. I talked about that in the old Discord there. Yes, and hopefully it will get a sequel because I mean you're talking about something that really should get a sequel and get more. It just deserves more love. It's a great show, great movie. SpaceX engineering feat was amazing. Yes. Makes NASA look like Lego. Elon's on the spectrum. I mean, probably. Ooh. Okay, I want to see the 3 sexual robots in the quantum void. If that's what he's doing. Those robots are identical. Bucho, the Paramount head, said it will only happen if they do it at a smaller budget. The Walmart. I'm not sure what that's in reference to, but I agree, Vinny. 100%. Knights of Old, I will get there. I'm almost there. For me, how did I? Okay, wait. Did something get skipped? I don't think so. I think I'm just an idiot. It's possible. Is that E.T. movie based on that horrible Atari game? Yes. We're right at that time of year when we start seeing amazing deals on physical media, though. Oh, absolutely. In fact, next month, I think all next month. I mean, look, Shazama bought that Pandora's box, or is that what it's called? 1929. I remember that. Pandora something. It's probably going to be on sale starting in like 2 weeks because the Barnes & Noble Criterion sale is going to happen. Just saying. But yeah, absolutely, Vinny. And oh my God, I need to freaking seriously. I have $40 left, and dude, you should see my wish list is stupid right now. Stupid. I want to buy that second sight Blair Witch. Do I need it? No, I don't. I want it though. I really want that. I really want the second sight Late Night with the Devil. I really want what was the other one? What was the other one that was in my basically there's just a ton of stuff coming out that I want. Zodiac is coming out on 4K. Yeah. Probably. I mean, seriously. It's one of my favorite. It's got to be in my top 10. And we talked about top 5s. Zodiac might be in my top 5. It's that freaking good to me. I've seen it that many times. I love that movie. But Zodiac on 4K and then Terminator in 4K. I mean, dude, there's too much. Shawscope Volume 3. Now, Shawscope Volume 3 will probably come down in price a little bit. I mean, Volume 2 did. But we'll see. There's so much coming out that I want. So much. Sorry. Rob, is Bravia XR 65-inch class A95L QD OLED 4K HDR 2023 model XR65AN5L any good? I mean, yeah, probably. Now, here's the thing to remember. I say, I mean, to me, OLEDs, especially now that I have this OLED in here, the LG C2, I love it. But I don't know if you know this, but the LG C3s were on sale from Woot, I think, the other day. I would do a lot of research because you really want to make sure that you're getting everything from that TV that you need. Like, do you need Sony is, let me ask you this. Keep in mind, OLED plus UB820 equals chef's kiss. Vinny, not wrong. You are not wrong, sir, because that UB820 has impressed the heck out of me. Seriously. I love it. I love it. But in my opinion, this is just my opinion now, do your research. I would do a lot of research before. I mean, to me, it's like, I feel like you need to do research on whatever. If it's electronic, you need to do research. Look at all the pros and cons. But for me, the reason that I didn't stick with Sony is because only one input has 4K, 4K 120 hertz with Dolby Vision, HDR, and all that shit, right? Only one port or one input. Now, here's the funny thing. Now that I bought, at the same time that I bought the TV, I got an upgrade to my receiver, which means, guess what? I only needed one input. So I probably could have stuck with Sony. But the C2, at the time, the C2 was better reviewed than any of the Sonys at the same size and all that stuff. If you don't care about the 4K 120, then I would say the Sony's probably fine. Or if you have a receiver where you can plug in to that port, you're probably fine. But if you don't have a receiver and you have multiple things that need 4K 120, say an Xbox, a PS5, whatever, then that's a problem. The other thing, well, I mean, that's pretty much, that's how I look at it. And that's the reason that I went with an LG over my Sony 70. What did I have? I think I had a 75-inch Sony around, but it was probably like a 2021. I'll just say it didn't have Dolby Vision. It only had the first wave of HDR. You know what I mean? So I didn't have Dolby Vision or anything. Didn't have HDR10 plus, all that stuff. But that's now, here's the thing. I've also had this TV for a while now, and I don't even remember how long I've had it. That's where my research stopped. I know there's the C3, the C4 is probably coming out or is out. I don't know. I'm good enough for a while on the TV front. It's a 77-inch TV. I'm good. And it's OLED and Dolby Vision, and the UB820 is great. So I'm happy. But yeah. Sometimes too much research means I get nothing. Absolutely. But if you can pair that with, okay, pick out a couple of models at a couple of different price ranges. This is what I do when it's time to buy a TV. I go, okay, I'm looking at this one. That one's really good, but it's this much. That one's really good, but it's a little cheaper. Then this one's really good in this price range, and it's this cheap. What I do is I camel. Right? Look and see where those prices dip. And if you're really serious about being the bargain hunter, you look and see, okay, when does it drop? And then look for the Black Friday sales, of course. Right? Or the Woot sales. So, yeah, that's kind of how I play the game. I try to have, this is the good, better, best. You know what I mean? And the thing is every time we get pretty close to what I really wanted. Now, of course, what I've wanted, I think the C3s just came out when I got mine. I could be wrong. But now the C3s are going on sale, so yeah. Ever thinking of getting a 3D printer? No. Yes, but no. Yes, maybe, possibly. No, yes. I don't understand. Okay. I've toyed with the idea in my head and then gone, no. Then April's toyed with the idea, and the thing is with her, again, she makes all the money. Okay. Just between you and me, she makes all the money. All right. So she makes those kinds of decisions. So if she wants to buy a 3D printer, she's going to buy whatever 3D printer she wants. And that might be way more than what I would have gotten. You get what I'm saying? I don't think she's found that exact thing that she needs it for, but we'll have one if she needs it for something. We're going to have one. That's just the way it goes. All right. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting, but and my thing is I am not that creative when it comes to building in 3D. So I wouldn't like. I've seen. Oh yeah, a part broke. It was one of my friends. A part broke on my screen door, and so I just figured out what it was, and I modeled it in 3D and printed a replacement, so that the door will latch or whatever. And I'm like, that's freaking awesome. I never would have done that. Never. I never would have done that. Never would have even crossed my mind to do that. And maybe that's why I'm an idiot. There you go. Is it wrong that I'm reading the 90-page booklet from Pandora's Box while having Order 42 show in the background? Damn it, Shozama. No, it's great. I really hope you're enjoying it. I mean, see, and that's the thing. I have literally no interest right this second of seeing Pandora's Box. But because it's on the Criterion Collection, I kind of want to see it. It's like, oh, it's an important movie. I kind of want to see it. It's important enough to be on the Criterion Collection. I kind of want to see it. Hey, Rob, tomorrow I'm getting me a Switch. Do you recommend getting Tears of the Kingdom? I would get Breath of the Wild first. You may be able to get Breath of the Wild cheaper, and it will introduce you to the world, and it's Tears of the Kingdom is a sequel to Breath of the Wild. So if you haven't played Breath of the Wild, I would recommend that first. And there will be most people will probably disagree with me. They go, "Oh, Tears of the Kingdom is a better game," and I'm like, I don't think so. I played Breath of the Wild through Breath of the Wild multiple times. I played Tears of the Kingdom once. Played through it once. I beat it. It's fun. I enjoyed it. Not as good as Breath of the Wild in my opinion, but that's just me. So there you go. I just got Close Encounters on 4K today. Dude, I have been this close to buy. I have the really nice, where is it? Oh, there it is. I have the nice the Blu-ray edition of that. And I've been this close multiple times to getting it on 4K on disc. Cuz I have the digital. But it's another one where I'm like I would like it, but how many times am I going to watch it? How many times have I watched Close Encounters in the last 10 years? Maybe once? I can't justify it. So that's where I have to keep asking myself the hard questions. I guarantee you, if I got that Blair Witch Second Sight, I guarantee you what would happen. Guaranteed. Doesn't stop me from wanting it, but guaranteed, I would blow through that thing. I'd watch the movie. I'd watch the commentaries if there were some. I'd watch, I'm sure there are. I'd watch all the special features. I'd read all the materials. I would engulf that, and then it would go on the shelf, and I probably wouldn't touch it for years. And that's one of those things where it's like I have to really consider that. I loved Late Night with the Devil. It was a great experience in the theater. I loved it. I don't think I'm gonna watch that movie that much. So it's one of those where I'm like, do I need to spend $50 or however much it is to get the seconds? I don't know. That's where I am right now. Taxi Driver and Warriors on 4K with the Steelbook. Yeah, see those, both of those are I'm fine with the digital. I'm so behind. I'm sorry. Okay. Have I heard anything about the quality of the PS5 as a 4K UHD player? Derek, the biggest problem is that they're not Dolby Vision. There's no Dolby Vision, or basically the HDR is base level HDR. So that's why I would not recommend your PS5 as your only player. It is kind of nice in some cases, um, just to have it, but I would not recommend that as your sole one. But that's me. If you don't care about that, or if your TV can't handle that, then well, yeah, why not? I would have only saved $3 if I waited for November sale for Pandora's Box, since it was on sale and I cashed in Barnes and Noble points that you could have used during the sale, right? Or maybe not. I don't know how that works. Also, it's minty by then, since its digibook may be beat up or even out. Well, true, but see, here's the thing though. The closest Barnes Noble to me is like 20-25 minutes away, and I could have just ordered it. I order most of my stuff from Barnes and Noble. Now, I love going in there and shopping, but my problem is I have a problem with I have sticky finger syndrome, where I pick something up and then it just I end up going home with it, and I end up spending more than I actually wanted to. So, yeah, I get the ones that I've had my own. I just get them and then I'm done. I don't go into the store. Store only got 2 copies in. We may not agree on politics, but 4K equipment, yes, and that's what really matters. Vinny, that's true. Were you disagreeing with me earlier? I mean, it's fine if you were. Like I said, I don't mind if someone disagrees with my point of view. But I mean, part of this is I like discussions. And the problem with doing a show like this is it's one way. Sometimes too much research means I get nothing. I absolutely understand that too. But like I said, if you do it that way, like the way that I said, I mean, that's kind of what I do, and it makes sense for me. Because that way, if I end up with the good, hopefully I got a good deal on that level. It's kind of like, I want to say that this TV that I'm buying now, that I'm bringing home and I'm putting on the wall or setting up or whatever you're going to do, it's better than what I had before. You know, it's a better quality image. Of course, OLED is going to be, dude, OLED is, OLED's awesome. So, anyway. For OLED, Sony is slightly better for movies, but it's a minimal difference. LG beats Sony for games and is very comparable for movies. Also, Panasonic is back in the States. I think they're king. I have a plugin for Amazon that shows price history right on the page. You son of a... Well, Vinny, you also cleaned up Amazon, didn't you? I watched a video this week about how Google, with the results and now sponsored results, push down what you're actually looking for. And I was kind of like, you sons of, wow. Yeah. Yeah. And it was just, the longer the video went on, the more I got kind of upset that they were wasting my time. And then of course, Amazon with their sponsored, I'm looking for this. Here's this thing that's kind of like it, but not anywhere close to the quality. And here's 4 more of those. And then down here is the thing that you're actually looking for. Anyway, is the price high end? $32.99 Bravia. I mean, that's pretty, dude. That's pretty high end. I spent much less than that on my C2. Almost said C3. New Panasonics look sweet. I saw Panasonic as good value TVs, but now they look like top of the line ones. Yeah. I just got a Bamboo A1 Mini. It was $200 and it's freaking awesome. Crazy good deal for an FDM printer. Well, okay. Melvor doing the 3D modeling stuff. Oh, yeah. Ooh, okay. Well, I mean, Knights of Old, it sounds like you're talking yourself into a deal. So, yeah. Breath of the Wild is better, in my opinion. There you go. Some of the mechanics in Tears is a bit more polished, but Breath of the Wild is groundbreaking. Yeah, and I mean, especially if you're new to that, I feel like if you're new to that version of Hyrule, I mean, I don't know, I like it. I bought Breath of the Wild and never got into it. Tried again when they announced Tears. Is there more to that story, or was that the end? I tried it again. The end. Well, okay, what did you think about it? Just kidding, Rufus. I'm kidding, Rufus. Thanks for the heads up on the PS5. I was thinking about getting it to kill two birds with one stone. Never played the newer Zelda, but Breath of the Wild is really good. Yeah, and I don't know. And again, this is just my opinion, but I think Breath of the Wild also has the superior story. I never got into it and tried twice. Ah, gotcha. Well, there you go. Negatives on the TV are just two HDMI 2.1. Yeah, see, the one that I had before was only one. And so what I had to do is if I wanted 4K 120 on my PS5 and my Xbox, I had to do a switcheroo thingy, which sucked. But then I got a new receiver, which solved that problem. So. Wait a minute. I never played. Okay. Wonder what half price books have in stores. I'll just have to see next week. Yeah, Wraith. You will have to see next week. I'm one of the dissenters here. Sorry to say. So? Look, man, here's the thing. Everybody's got different opinions. I'm friends with Billy and Jay and Chris and Melvor and Dongo, and I'm very different than all of them. But what's weird is I'm like Winnie the freaking Pooh. I can talk to all of them and have conversations and have long conversations with any and all of them. But we don't agree on everything. I mean, I think politics is a sham. But whatever. It's fine. Here's the thing, Vinny, you're okay in my book because number one, you and I both like Game Dave. I mean, that's number one. Number two, your videos are fun to watch. And number three, you make me laugh in Dave's chat, and you've made me laugh multiple times in here. So, do we need anything else? No. I mean, that's just me. I don't need anything else. There you go. I like buying in the store for the sale since I weigh options and pick up stuff on the shelf and put other stuff back depending on budget, and picking up a variety of films rather than a bunch of the same. Shozama, I totally understand. But there's certain movies where I beeline to certain movies. And in most cases, and again, I mean, I'm doing okay. I'm not saying that I don't, oh, I'm so poor. No, I'm doing okay. All right, I'm doing okay. But my budget for that is kind of like, okay, I'm gonna buy one, I'm gonna buy that one, and I'm gonna buy that one and that one, and usually that's all I get. But it's because I've had my eye on those for a long time, or they're in my wish list or whatever. Basically, I want too much. Okay. Of all the stuff Tesla showed off, I want the auto van that holds 10 people. Look, man, he's again, Tesla's the only company right now that seems to be looking forward. Like really looking forward. Although, okay, if you have even seen a BMW before, you go, that looks expensive to fix. Spoiler alert, they are. Okay? If you buy into the BMW ecosystem by buying one of their cars, expect expensive repairs. Okay. I did have to get my BMW uh, looked at. And I think I just drove up and they charged me $500. And I'm like, you haven't even looked at it yet. And they're like, $500, $500, please. And I'm like, okay, it's a BMW. I mean, basically it's expensive. But I got to ride in one of their i4s. I want one, but there you go. Yeah. Uh, but yeah, I mean, look, the thing is I like techie stuff. And I think I like the techie stuff. I think the Teslas are cool. I think the Cybertruck on the inside is freaking cool. I don't like the outside. But I mean, it's a cool idea. And it's cool that, somebody had this wacky idea. Hey, let's make that. And they were like, okay, let's do it. And then people bought it. I think that's cool. But please don't disagree on Billy's twerking. You may not be Minecraft, but you're all right. Well, Vinny, I like that. What is the okay for? Is that the look, I want too much, okay? Okay. Yeah. Was Rings of Power finale that bad? I don't know. I didn't watch it. Look, I was already kind of out after season 1. And then I heard some people that didn't like season 1 that said, season 2 is a lot better. I started watching the first episode and went, I just don't care. So I didn't watch it. So I don't know. May consider getting Starlink next year. Is that what is that the internet thing? I don't know. Elon as a CEO has so much more knowledge and ability than your typical CEO. I wish more companies allowed talent to rise to the top. $500, geez. No, I was kidding about they didn't charge me. I was looking up parts for BMWs and they weren't cheap. A valve cover was $500. Oh yeah, dude, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But again, then you drive it and you're like, this is beautiful. And my wife, she said, look, I don't like your car. She goes, I don't like the way it looks. I don't like getting in and out of it. But my God, does that thing drive amazing. And I'm like, I know, right? It's so much fun to drive. And she said, there are things that car can do that my car can't even come close to. And it's not like I have like this huge like supercar. It's just the thing moves, man. And they're made so well. But damn, you pay for it. It sucks. So, but then again, we just spent on like 4 different trips because April had some problems with her car. I think we spent like 4 or 5 grand on hers. So did you hear about the EVs catching on Florida? Wait, did you hear about the EVs catching on Florida during the hurricane? You mean catching on fire in Florida? No, I didn't hear anything about that. Oh, just be careful using the term sticky fingers. That means stealing. Oh, well, it just means that I can't let them go. And so I end up spending more than that was I get what you mean by the sticky fingers. Yeah, I've heard that too. But yeah, it just meant that I have a problem putting things back. Once I pick it up, it's like, you're coming home with me, I don't steal. I haven't stolen anything since probably 18, 19. I'm not proud of it. I'm not proud of it. And I knew better. It's not like, oh, I didn't know. Yeah, no. I wasn't. No, I was stupid and yeah, it was bad. So there you go. No, sir, I don't like it. Yeah. Satellite internet, some of the fastest and reliable connection available. Yeah, I mean, dude, if I could get away from Frontier, I would. Just saying. I've only driven a Volkswagen. It was so much more enjoyable than my Honda. I can only imagine a BMW. Yeah. Because I had 2 Volkswagens before. I had a Jetta 1.8 turbo, which was love it. Then I went up to a Passat but it was the base Passat. It wasn't great. Still 4-cylinder. And then I moved up to this one, which is a M series M235 with V6 supercharged. It's amazing and way too fast for anything that I do. Seriously. It's I really should have just gotten a 228 basically. So, salt water makes the batteries catch on fire. Oh, okay. We don't want you to get arrested for shoplifting. Well, it's not like I'd go, oh my gosh, I got sticky fingers and I'm like putting it in my pocket. I stole April's heart. Yeah. I just like having a self-driving car. Imagine that, using that in Texas. It'd be interesting. That's for sure. I've seen some crazy stuff here, man. Some crazy stuff. Oh, by the way, did anybody see that Silo trailer? I know a lot of people talk about Apple. That's a weird sound. A lot of people talk about Apple and they're like, oh, I've never watched anything on Apple. Apple has great stuff. Okay. Silo is a great show. Season 2's coming. Rebecca Ferguson, Common. I never thought I'd say Common. Like, oh yeah, man, I'm really into Common. He's amazing in this show. And Tim Robbins. It's a great show. Great. Season 2's coming. Looks good. Trailer looks good. Also, if you haven't watched it, For All Mankind. If you're in the space program, holy crap, that's fun. It's a good show. You know, last season got a little, went a little off the, jumping the beach ball, the beach bimbos, jumping the, crossing the shark, jumping the shark. A little bit of jumping the shark, at least in my opinion. In the last season, toward the end there, For All Mankind, still cool though. Still cool. I highly recommend that. And then, let's see, what else do I watch on there? Slow Horses. I still haven't watched any of the new season. That's a great show. Great show. Gary Oldman. Good stuff. So anyway. Oh God, Showzama. Way too many. I don't need recommendations. Because here's the thing. I'm trying to, like you suggested this. So that I should sprinkle in some recommendations from you guys in with my insane watch list of just movies that I've purchased. Because I hate that. I hate the fact that I have movies on the shelf that I've purchased that I haven't watched yet. I hate that. So I'm going through those first. But I'm also sprinkling in some of your recommendations. So please, Showzama, please. I'm good for a while. I will let you know, though. And, you know, I'm like Paris, Texas. I don't think anybody actually recommended that. But I know it's come up. And so I watched it. And I'm glad that I watched it. It was really good. You know what's funny, man? The banana smells amazing. Just a week. I refuse to have my car drive me. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah. I'm really into Common. Man's brilliant. Yeah, he's great. He's great in Silo. Like, seriously, shocked me. Because I was like, Rebecca Ferguson, Tim Robbins, and Common? Really? Okay. You completely changed my mind. And I love that. I love that I was wrong. You know? Squiggles, what's going on? Next week, baby. Next week. Okay, so real quick, I have just a couple of news items that I wanted to talk about that might be interesting. I just found this interesting that Henry Cavill is going to be in a Voltron movie. So here's the thing. There's a couple of reasons why this makes me nervous. Number one, it's for Amazon. You never know. You never know with Amazon what you're going to get. The other thing that kind of makes me go is that the director made Red Notice one of the most forgettable movies of the last 10 years. Like, when's the last time anybody brought up Red Notice? So, I don't know. This could be cool. Amazon is like a box of chocolates. You could say that. You could say that. But the thing is Henry Cavill is one of those actors who's earned that place in the, I like that guy, you know? So basically anything he's in, probably worth watching because he's in it, at least for me. And this makes me nervous. Makes me nervous. Also, Kyle Chandler joins Ben Affleck, Matt Damon in Netflix crime thriller called R.I.P. or RIP. I'm guessing it's Rest in Peace. Joe Carnahan directing, but it's for Netflix. So, I don't know. I just don't know about that. I like Kyle Chandler though. And of course, if you've been paying attention to the movie news, you also know that he's going to star as Hal Jordan in the Lanterns DC series for HBO. And of course, we didn't talk about this last week, but also in Lanterns is Rebel Ridge star Aaron Pierre. Now, here's my question for you. Is anybody into Green Lantern, especially Jon Stewart Green Lantern? Because so many different people I've seen say, oh my God, Jon Stewart's my favorite Green Lantern. I've read some Hal Jordan Green Lantern, and I've seen some of the animated movies. But are there any comic runs that I should be looking at? Because what I'll do is I'll put them on my little wish list, and when they go on sale, I'll pick them up and read them with my face, with my whole face. So anybody in a Green Lantern? And which Jon Stewart story should I be reading? Anybody? I just think it's cool. Of course, we were talking about, I think we talked about it, that Josh Brolin was being thrown around for the Hal Jordan. But Kyle Chandler is a pretty solid actor. I like him a lot. I don't think he's had the best, like he's not in like huge roles, but I really like him. So, yeah. Oh, Squiggles, I think it will be allowed, but I'm pretty sure that since I don't know if you noticed that Billy is not fighting in any of these matches, so I'm guessing he's going to be shooting, and yeah, I'll probably be shooting as well on this guy, and then yeah, we'll go from there. So, man, that's dark. ND16 inside is not good. But yeah, we will be filming the thing for sure. Apparently an official Goonies 2 happening. I don't think that's true. All of those have been shot down. I just don't see it happening. At this point, I don't see it happening. I've seen a lot of stuff going around about that. In fact, the last time that people were saying, "Oh, Goonies 2 is going to happen," and it was like this really, very obviously, it's kind of an obvious Photoshop job for Goonies 2. It was a poster coming in next year or whatever, right? And then Sean Astin came out and said, "Look, I've seen a lot of talk about Goonies 2. I would love for it to happen, but it's not happening." Okay? Richard Donner is gone. It's probably not going to happen. And And then right after that, I saw another one. I saw another one just the other day. You only know the Blackest Night storyline. Okay. So Green Lantern is probably what you're looking forward to the most now? Wait, are you looking forward to Jay fighting? Yeah, Jay said that he was wanting to do it as a pay-per-view, but I don't know if he got that going. Look, I don't know. Um, he would definitely be the one to ask. But like usually when we're all together, we're usually talking about the thing or whatever. And I mean, we were together on Sunday filming game chasery stuff. So yeah, I never came up. I thought I saw the actor saying it was finally happening. I hope it's fake. Just leave it alone. I honestly don't know what I don't know what they could even do at this point. But look, here's the thing. It's late. My throat is parched. And I need to pee. And we're out of news. And I've been going for over 3 hours. So typically this means it's time for me to turn off the stream and go in there and do the thing. You know, whatever. Read or whatever I'm going to do. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to say farewell. And y'all have a great week. Look forward to, again, man, I'm really looking forward to using that camera outside and stuff like that. I want to do a video. I know I'm not a tech reviewer or anything like that, but I haven't seen anybody review these. And I think it'd be cool to show off what this thing can actually do because, and yeah, Goobins, exactly. Exactly. So yeah, y'all have a great week. We'll see you next Tuesday. And then of course, next Saturday, right? Retropalooza. I mean, we talked about it already, and of course we talked about this and we talked about that. So that's happening next week. It's going to be fun. But y'all have a great one. Okay?